and then we got here. All is well.
All right, so just to sort of bring us up to pace, as you recall from last session, you guys had landed in the faraway land of Mastica. Essentially, it's unpopulated except for a couple of sparse tribes of these Tabaxi warriors. There are no humans anywhere. There's no signs of civilization. You are in a completely natural landscape. You explored around looking for any signs of these ruins or possibly any signs of a ancient shrine, and you encountered these two tabaxi, one named Care Bear and one named Eldy. Care Bear, the older tabaxi, was very unwilling to give you any information. She did tell you the story of how these lands are very cursed. They are cursed because humans had previously occupied these lands and they had angered the gods, and the gods had smitten them down. And the lands of where the previous humans used to be are cursed and sealed off magically. The younger Tabaxi, he seemed a lot more curious and he wanted to help you and he wants to go and explore these places himself. So he told you how to get in there. Essentially, what you had to do is lure the Tyrannosaurus Rex up to the barrier, and the barrier fades. And you guys managed to do that without having to fight the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And now you guys are through the barrier, and this is what you see before you. Look all around, and it's raining pretty hard at this point. You look all around, and you see like this. This is a vast ruin of an ancient city. There is a. It looks like this, probably centuries old. There are signs of buildings that went really high into the sky, but now they're crumbled and broken into dust. There are a couple of statues around. You see that these statues are fashioned in an art style you're not very familiar with. But they are statues of different types of animals and different types of animals and previous rulers. And you just kind of look around you.
Fantastic. Is it... So we're on the other side of the magical barrier.
Yes, you actually are not even able to see the city from the other side when you looked previously. It was only when you went through the magic barrier when you actually are even able to visualize this whole city. And it looks like there's just this perpetual rain here. It's just this thick, heavy rain where it's really hard to navigate. The ground is really thick and muddy.
Is there any sign of animal tracks or, I guess, other human tracks?
Definitely no tracks.
No
Neither
tracks
human, nor dinosaur, nor animals.
Fantastic. Are there any sounds of animals?
No, not... Well, there's some sounds of birds and things like that, but you don't hear, like, roars and groans like you were hearing outside with the dinosaurs. It's not completely lifeless. I mean, there's plenty of vegetation growing everywhere.
Gotcha. It's like typical forest sounds.
Jungle
just
sounds.
No
Yeah.
Tyrannosaurus Rex and Brontosaurus and Triceratops.
Yeah, you no longer hear those sounds of those dinosaurs that you were hearing when you were outside the barrier. And you noticed that the Tyrannosaurus was unwilling to follow you through this barrier, even though the barrier had dissolved for it.
Interesting.
Well, I think that we need to make our way to those ruins, and see what's.
Well, everywhere are ruins. They're all around you. Even just looking to your left and right, you can see these ancient, broken down stone fixtures. As you go and actually look around, you realize that these are so ancient that there's really nothing of any value or use because they're so old. The most you can find are some broken down clay pots.
God, is there any of the buildings that look less dilapidated than the others? That's something that might provide us some shelter to make
Well, I'm
the
glad you
trail.
asked, because far off in the distance, you can even see it in this painting here. Far off in the distance, you see what appears to be a huge, multi-stepped, pyramid-like structure. That appears to be some sort of centerpiece of this broken down town. And you notice that this is a good this is a good mile or two away from where you are, and actually half of this you're not sure if it's a town or a city, but half of this this prior civilization is flooded with a stream running through it. You can wade the stream; it's not that deep, but you realize that this structure is about a good 2 miles away, but you can see it in the distance, clearly the centerpiece of the town.
Okay. Well,
Excellent.
we're going to have to
Okay.
head there, in that direction, it seems.
I think so. That sure looks like the largest object that we can see. Maybe we'll be able to find some shelter there. Or...
Yeah.
Well,
Hopefully
yeah,
there will
there's. I mean, if you're looking for shelter, obviously there's a lot of these broken down buildings that will get you out of the rain.
Yeah,
if you were to-
ultimately,
yeah.
if it's the most
But this
stable building, it's
yeah,
probably...
this looks like the most intact building. Everything else just looks ruined, grown over probably centuries. And as you start wading through the streams, you look around you. You look to your left and your right, and you see these statues that have been erected. And once again, this statue is in this art style you haven't really seen before. And some of these statues, you notice that they have these crowns on the top of their head, like this. It looks like there's a crown made out of leaves on the top of their heads as you look at them. And these statues appear to be bigger than some of the other statues.
Interesting. Crown with leaves.
Yeah, it looks like a crown. Like this statue depicts somebody very important, kind of thing.
Okay.
But is it like the laurel crowns the Romans had for their?
Oh no, these are Mayan looking. So if you think of the South America and Mayans and Aztecs,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like a huge like it looks like a tree sprouts out of somebody's head kind of crown. Like they took some really kind of sacred leaves or something like that and they put the crown on. And as you continue to walk down, you notice that there are a couple of different figures that are depicted with that crown on their head. You notice that there is one figure depicted with a crown on the head, and he has his hand pressed against his chest. His other hand is doing something, but the statue's hand has fallen off. So it's really hard to tell what exactly the statue looked like when it was intact. But this figure also has a symbol of what looks like the sun at the base of the statue. Like it's drawn with a sphere and rays coming out of it, so you deduce that this is a figure of the sun. You look at that statue, and then right next to that statue, you notice another statue. Now, this is a statue of this really large figure. He looks like he's built like an ogre. Sort of, you clearly notice that these statues are very different. The second statue is built like an ogre. He's got these fangs. He's got these evil-looking eyes, and this statue looks like he's about to attack. So you see these two statues paired next to each other. Both of these statues have those crowns on their head.
I wonder if these are the gods that we heard about. Was it the two sons that were attacking each other?
Right. That's what I was thinking too. I mean, I know that I think we answered the question whether their sun god was Lathander. It's obviously not, but I think that this is I don't know if they were brothers or what they were.
Or the sons of the brothers.
They were related because the pantheon is actually part of the same family. They were actually uncle. It was uncle and nephew. The evil god is called Zotsalaha. He is the vampire god. He used to be a good god, but then turned evil, and he is said to be the god that was sent down and destroyed the entire civilization. but he was so evil that he wanted to destroy all life. And this second god, the sun god, Tezca, was sent down to stop him. And the story is Tezca used some sort of ray of light to banish Zatzalaha deep inside the earth. And you look at this picture, and that could be what this picture is depicting.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys continue down, and then you see more figures. You see what appears to be the figure of wait, oh, I got my notes here. Sorry about that. My notes are disorganized. Okay, so here you see the figure of what appears to be like these two, a male and a female god, and they are holding a child. Like appears that this god was just born, and this child is raising his hand up to the sky. And then you continue down, and the next figure you see is that now there are two children. That previous figure of the child you see has grown up to a little boy, and then there's a second child that the male and the female have given birth to, and you know they look like there's some sort of family, and you keep going down and you realize that this is some sort of history that they are depicting with these statues. You continue to go down, and you see that now these two children are sort of approximate age. One of the children appears to be the bigger one, the elder one. He is looking on as the mother and the father are putting some sort of necklace on the younger one, and he's got this jealous look on his face. So that actually coincides with the legend that you were told by Kerber, that the elder god, the progenitor god, was Kukul, and his wife was Mastika. And they gave birth to two children.
That's right.
Toltec and
No,
Kotal.
it was Katal and Zoltek.
Exactly. And Katal was the firstborn. However, Katal was initially a good god. However, the elder gods favored Zoltek and made Zoltek the inheritor of all the heavens and earth. And Kotal was kind of ostracized. And the next one you see is once again that older child. You can see that he is sitting there and he is eating what appears to be a person. And this probably depicts Katal's fall, his jealousy, and all his pain. And then you continue down, and you know these statues. The farther you get, the more intact these statues start looking. The closer you get to this temple, you guys are wading to the stream, and at this point, the stream is like up to your chest, and the rain is beating down heavily. But on both sides of the, and you think that because you feel solid stone beneath you, you think that this stream used to be a road. So you think that this used to be a road to the temple, and these statues abutting the road are like a history of the gods. And then you go further down, and this is very interesting. Now you see these statues, but none of the statues have that wreath on their head depicting that they are a god. These are statues of that are much smaller, and they appear to depict people. And you notice that there is a statue. There are two statues. One statue appears to be a king of some sort. He has this big rod that he's holding, and he's spreading his arms out, and it looks like there are a whole bunch of other smaller statues around him, sort of worshiping him. He appears to be some ruler of sort. The second statue, you look at it, and you're thinking, wow, this statue actually looks like the way they depicted the statue. This person had a weird, like, doesn't look like any other statue you've seen. This person has a weird shaped helmet on. He appears to have pantaloons on, and you're looking at it, and it looks like this is somebody who could have come from Faerun. He looks like a Spanish conquistador. And he's holding the spear that you actually would recognize, because looks like a weapon that would be present in Faerun. So you think, when you look at this statue, you think that this statue depicts some sort of meeting between somebody from Faerun and this ancient king. And then as you continue down, one of the last statues you see before you get to the temple is that same guy, that Spanish conquistador-looking guy. He is holding something in his hand. What he's holding in his hand appears to be a small child, but this child has the wreath of one of these gods in his hands, on his head. He's holding the small child and offering the small child to the other people around him that all look like they're masticing. If you continue on, you'll be kind of at the temple.
Yep.
Interesting.
So, yeah, we're going to have to continue on, but that's a interesting story there.
In the meantime,
Jealousy and betrayal.
Yeah, well, some of the things you saw did confirm the legend that you were told by Care Bear when she told you the legend of how Quiltal turned into Zatzolaha from jealousy. But what you didn't see, what she didn't say anything about, is somebody possibly from Faerun, judging by the way that this statue was dressed and the spear he was holding, somebody from Faerun coming here. And what clearly doesn't make sense is at the very end, you see that same person from Faerun offering a child to one of these Mastican kings. And this child is wearing the headdress that the gods were wearing. Anything you'd like to do?
Well, I think we're going to just have to push on. We don't have enough information. We can't put enough pieces together. So
Olaf is
we're gonna have
just
to dig
keeping an eye on like the water around us, because we're like whatever waist deep, just to make sure there's like nothing that's gonna sneak up on us.
Olaf, roll me perception.
And are all these statues that are depicting this essentially history of this place, they're all made out of the same materials? None of them stand
They
out?
are made of limestone. Olaf, you notice that there are a lot of fish swimming around you. All of you guys. There's a lot of fish, and there are some fish that are kind of swimming closer and closer, and they're bumping into you. You're kind of looking at them. These fish look really big and a lot more aggressive than the other fish.
I tell the party that we got some weird fish here, guys. And
Yeah, you guys look around you and you realize that there is a huge school of fish swimming around you in a circle. It was hard to see previously because it was raining so hard and you guys were kind of wading through. But at this point, you realize that there's a massive school of fish just surrounding you, like tornado style, swimming around you in a circle.
Are they like close enough that if I tried to grab one, I could?
Sure. You can roll me. Try to roll me a sleight of hand or a dexterity to save.
I will try to do a sleight of hand, I guess.
You grab the fish momentarily, but it slips right out of your hands, right back into the water. This fish looks really aggressive and really strong.
Oh, Jesus.
Hoping to look at his teeth.
Let's continue pushing on and get out of here.
We might want to get out of the water, guys.
Fish always have teeth like that?
Yeah, I say we push on to get out of this water.
Yeah, I will.
So you look around you. If you can get out of the water. The problem is like both to your left and to your right, the edges of the water are extremely steep. So you feel like if you were to try to climb that way, you might slip and fail a dexterity save and splash right back into the water. If you were to continue to push on forward, you see that there does appear to be a small patch of land up ahead, but this is like an island in the middle of a stream.
Right.
Okay, where are these statues then?
These statues are high above you, above the cliff. Like they're really high, and you look at them, and they're kind of like they're buried up to the feet because of the ruin, but they are extremely big and just on both sides of you. They're clearly there to kind of show you to send a message.
Like we couldn't jump up and grab the statues then.
You would have to climb up the side first. And this is about a 20-foot climb into a very steep 70-degree angle.
Okay, so we're like in a...
Yeah, you're like in a ditch covered by water.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was looking at the picture you linked, and I was envisioning we're in this nice big wide open...
Well, that's how you were when you started, but then... That's how you were, but you had to follow the stream, and the more you follow the stream, the more the edges, both sides of the stream became steep. And the more the stream became deep.
I remember you saying that the water got deeper, but we were still on the path. So I was envisioning just, it's still this wide open vista.
No. At this point, at this point, you're kind of in a ditch. These fish just keep swimming around you.
Go up 20 feet in the statues and the rest
if you want to try, you think you can try it, but you realize that these things are really slippery. They're very muddy. There's a couple of exposed roots and things like that you can try to get a hold of, but you realize
are there any
that
big trees or rock outcroppings or anything that we might be able to throw a rope around.
Yeah, there's a couple of little little roots and like rocks and things like that you can try.
And how far? Because you're saying there's a little patch of dry land
just ahead.
Ahead
like 20 feet or so.
But it's nowhere near the temple, so we'd have to get back in the water to get back to the temple anyway.
Yeah, but obviously on the land, these fish can't get to you.
True, but we'd have to get back in the water to get to the temple anyway.
Well, what I'm saying is the island on the way.
Yes, it's towards the temple.
You
can try to get out of this stream by climbing up the edges of the cliff.
Yeah, so let's definitely do that, and we'll get to the island, and then we'll just kind of, catch our breath, see what this stuff is, and then we'll go from there.
So you guys continue on. It's not a very far trek, but you get to this island and you get out of the water. Now the four of you are standing on the island. The island itself is about 20 feet like in circumference, 20 feet in diameter.
Is it 4 of us or 5 of us get all these with us?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, LD actually, he's actually very spry, and he is actually standing on the statue looking at you. He does not want to get wet.
Cats don't like to get wet.
That's absolutely despise getting wet, but you realize that he's tiny and he's sprite and he has sharp claws that he can hold on. So he's following you. He's following along with you guys, but he's not willing to get into the water. So you can see he's all the way up on one of the statues, kind of looking at you, seeing what you're going to do next. Nice. And as you get to this island, you notice that these fish now there are. You can't even count how many they are. They are at least dozens and dozens. They are just swimming around the island in a circle.
Huh.
And
Well,
Oh,
they didn't attack.
They haven't attacked just yet, but they look pretty vicious.
can we call up to LD and ask him and say, hey, these fish with teeth,
I think he's never been here before, but it doesn't hurt to ask.
do you know anything about them?
LD responds, and you put up the knowledge ring, and it says, Parada's very dangerous. Don't let it smell blood.
Smell blood. Fantastic.
So right now, nobody's bleeding. These fish have not yet attacked you.
Do we want to try to injure one of these and have them go after that, or just keep taking our time down the river, guys, or down the roadway?
I think we're just gonna have to continue. That's just
You're going to go back into the water with these your new friends.
Well,
The problem with these fish is that this is a massive swarm. So even if you were to kill a couple of these, it won't make a difference. There's just so many of these.
well, my thought was initially that maybe we can kill one or two and they'll start eating each other. But the problem is if we kill one or two and then they get in a frenzy and we're like, oh, we need more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not going to help us.
How far away from the side is the island to, like...
Oh, it's
to the edge
like
of
10 feet.
So we're 10 feet
Yeah.
to the wall to get out. But we're
Yeah, you
20
can
feet
try to
down.
climb that wall. Unfortunately, the problem is that it's very steep. So you think that if you were to slip, you'll
Well, that'd
fall
be
right.
almost impossible, right? Because we're in water up to our chest.
Yeah, but you can. There's some like roots and things like that. You can try to climb out, but you realize that if you were to slip, you will splash right down into the water.
Right.
And you know, it's like these are slippery, muddy, kind of steep ledges. LD has no problem climbing up and down these things because he's got claws, and he's tiny.
And these fish right now, they're just, what, swimming around the island that we're standing on?
They are circling you like vultures
Okay.
around the island.
I'd like to...
I take Mage Hand and, like, go, like, 30 feet, like, above where we came from and, like, splash the water.
Yeah, I'm just wondering...
The fish do react a little bit. They kind of swim around the area you splash, but then they lose interest and continue to swim around you.
I got an idea. I'm a pirate, or formerly a pirate. I'm familiar not with this particular fish, but with fish in general. They usually go for shiny things. I think we need to make a run for it, honestly. These fish with teeth, I think are going to try and eat us. But if we distract them behind us the way we came, and we make a beeline for it, I think I have a way to keep them distracted, hopefully, long enough behind us that we can get out of the water. And that's what I'll need. I'll need your help, Olaf.
Okay.
If you could. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach into my pack and I'm going to pull out one of my empty scroll cases. And I'm going to ask also to borrow Rob Shore's very sharp and pointy daggers and ask him to punch holes in it, not through it, just random holes throughout it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will hand Olaf a couple bits or one of the bigger bits of cloth scraps that I got, and I will ask him to cast light on it.
I was thinking about just casting light on a stone and throwing it over there, unless you want me. It needs to be in the container for some reason.
Exactly. I'm thinking if I cast it on the cloth scrap,
Mm-hmm.
put it in the scroll tube with a rock, put the lid back on, tie a rope to it, tie a rope around my waist, throw it in the water, it'll be this light shining sporadically 50 feet behind us will hopefully act as a lure, and we can get the hell out of here, and they can go and investigate the shiny lure that'll be sinking and trailing behind us.
That sounds like a good idea.
I don't know. I mean, because your mage hand splashed and they sort of got into it,
Yep.
but there was nothing there for them to see or interact with.
Yeah, I was
I'm
thinking
thinking
something
a-
similar of casting light on something and then trying to put that in the water, see if that
Okay.
either attracts them
Okay,
or moves them away.
You're going to cast light on an object, put it inside a box, and have the light kind of streaming out of the box, and then chuck it the other direction, so to lure the fish away. Correct?
Correct,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
have it tied at the end of a rope, right? So that it's not just a static thing that sits there and doesn't move. This will actually be trailing through the water.
Also, you're going to be pulling it along
Exactly.
as you move
Have a
forward.
rope tied around my waist. Have the rope tied to the
Okay.
end of the scroll tube. Throw it in the water. That's 40 odd feet behind me. I'll be at the back of the group, so that'll give everyone 45, 50 feet. In theory, if they go for it.
Okay,
I don't know. That's
so
an idea.
all right. So you guys give it a try. You take. Do you have a box with holes? What are
No,
you using?
I have 2 empty scroll cases with me. So I asked Rob Shore if he could
Okay.
use his dagger to punch holes in one of them.
All right. Okay. So you do that. You create this object and put some holes in it, and then you cast light on, let's say, a pebble or something like that. You put it inside, and now you have this little scroll case with holes streaming light out. You toss it into the water, and it does appear to work. A huge portion of these fish start swarming it.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Yep, I think that was the time.
Yep, I agree.
So you guys make a mad dash while still, of course, you're still you have this rope tied around you and this object trailing behind you, correct?
Maybe not a mad dash. I think we take it slow, right, guys? Like,
Yeah,
how far do we have to go?
Yeah.
Because I don't think we want to make too much of a commotion. We want it to
The
them to
temple
be
is,
attracted to that.
you can see that the temple grounds, the stream goes straight down and then makes a sharp turn to the right. The temple is on the left side, so the stream turns away from it. But there is an area where it appears that there's land beyond the stream, right where the temple is. You see a dry patch of land, right beneath at the
Okay.
base of the temple. You think that would probably be the most logical kind of area to go for.
Go next.
Yeah, if you were, but you don't have to go that way. Your choice.
Oh yeah, if that's the most logical area, that's what.
Yeah, it seems to be. So you guys get back in the water. This time there's much less fish swarming around you, and you feel really happy about that. But there's still a couple kind of stray fish kind of darting back and forth, and they are these horrible looking big teeth fish with red bellies.
Perfect.
You make about 20 feet without any incident, and you feel that the floor beneath you now is smooth. There's not even any rocks on it. You are standing literally on there's some sort of it seems like the water is less deep. Now instead of up to your chest, the water is only up to your waist. You can't see the floor, but you feel like you are standing on solid ground beneath this water.
Good. So
What's the marching order?
I will probably go first because if something bad happens, I'm best armored.
Okay.
I'll be in
So-
the rear.
And then I think,
I'm probably second.
yeah, I'll probably be third. What we usually do.
Yep.
Okay, let me organize the marching order. So you wade about 40 feet out. Now you're about 60 feet to this dry land. Obviously, you're wading. This is very difficult terrain. You're wading through because it's just literally water. To both sides, it's a very still that steep edge. There doesn't seem to be any exit from it.
Right.
As you continue to wade, John, you are in front. You get a dexterity saving throw, but with disadvantage because you're in water. You guys get no perception check because you can't even see the bottom of it.
Right. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and make that. It should automatically come up with disadvantage, but I'm gonna click it just in case. Um. Oh, that's not as bad.
You unfortunately you were not even able to detect the pressure plate that you stepped on
Okay.
as sharp spikes fly out of hidden holes in the ground beneath you. Oh, you didn't see. That is a 17 piercing damage.
Well then,
You take
I will take 14. Right.
these sharp spikes whooshing, and they're really tall. Like you actually see some of the spikes just beneath the water. It just happens that none of these spikes actually, your armor protected you from these spikes hitting vital organs coming from directly beneath you. And you guys look around, and there is a trickle of blood coming out of John Ashford.
Ooh.
We're rolling initiative.
Okay, let's roll initiative.
Oh, spaghetti.
I think I need.
John Ashford. Oh, 1 on initiative. Damn.
I just got stuck.
You did. I gotta find a way to make a script to add my charisma to initiative.
Yeah, I think all you have to do is, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty easy.
Isn't there an area where you can just...
Yeah, just click your click that little magnifying glass right beside your armor class.
Oh, and there it is. Miscellaneous. I can just put 2 in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be easiest.
How about that?
Okay, you guys look around, and with the little trickle of blood that came out of John Ashford, these fish have gone insane. They completely abandoned that light box you have behind you, and they are all flying in the water towards you. You see some of them are jumping out of the water. You can probably kill a dozen of them. Unfortunately, the problem is there's just too many. So, Robshore, you are first. You guys are still waiting. The temple, that dry land, is in front of you. It's about 40 feet away. You are wading through difficult terrain.
Yeah, and it's like there's too many to really.
You certainly may attack it if you want to, but you realize that you can kill a dozen of them, and that won't even make a difference.
Yeah. So I think what I would do is and what is ahead of us?
The temple. So the direction you guys were heading was directly towards that temple. At the base of the temple, there's a patch of dry land. This stream seems to go towards it and then make a sharp right. So you see the dry land right in front of you, about 40 feet away.
Okay. And then is our friend, what's his name? LD?
He is, let me put him in initiative.
He's in there.
He is, yeah, he is, he's up on the statues, and you see him, he's jumping like a ninja from statue to statue.
Awesome. So I guess my idea is, like, I would be looking around. I think I've kind of realized that, like, we can't attack these creatures. We're gonna essentially try and wade out of this as we're being slowly eaten. So I think what I would do is I would pull out my rope from my bag and see if I could yell to LD, like run and like tie this off,
Okay.
Yeah, does he have opposable thumbs?
They actually, technically no, but the cat paws can act like, because they can grab in a certain way and act just like a grappling hand.
Okay, so So I guess I would, judging by his anatomy, I would either kind of maybe tie a dagger around it that he could maybe wedge to something, or I would just give him the end of the rope if I thought he could loop it around something. Maybe I just would tie a loop.
As an action, you may toss this thing you tie. You don't have to, you can tie and toss it. That'll count as one action.
Sure. Okay. So I might tie a loop in the end, and since I am a captain, this is a good knot.
No, you don't need to roll to tie a good knot. That's fine. But you do need to roll to toss it.
Sure. So I would toss it to him, and I think I would try and yell into the ring. Go.
LD's already ahead of you. He already sees what you're doing. He sees the fish attacking. He's
oh boy.
He puts out his paw.
Okay, LD, his tiny little cat paw. So what am I rolling to throw this to him?
You may roll a simple dexterity check is that's all you need.
Okay.
And LD likewise will roll a dexterity to catch it.
Can I do this open?
Yeah. I mean, when the result is obvious, it doesn't matter. It's okay. The DC is not high for that. You easily toss the rope. LD catches it in his paws, and you see LD. LD is first in initiative.
Meow.
Actually, he's actually before you, so he's taking his turn while you're taking his turn. You see, he dashes over. Because he's so high up and so fast, he makes it to that dry patch of land right in front of you guys. And he's got the rope in his hand, and he's looking around. And he sees a rock, and he begins tying it across the rock. Do you want to do anything else on your turn as he's fish?
I think with my movement, probably like everybody else, I'm going to be going. I'm going to be moving away from all these fish as best we can. But I think I would probably try and make sure that John Ashford was close enough to the rope to grab it.
Sure.
So I might try and move closer to him, but not too close because he's surrounded by flesh-eating fish.
Well, you gotta remember, you're in difficult terrain, so you move half your speed. That is your maximum for your movement.
Okay.
John Ashford is very close to you. You guys are in formation.
Okay. Okay. Well, then that would be the end of my turn.
Oh, you're not moving forward?
Is there a map? I don't see a map.
Oh, there's no map.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So I would move forward as far as I could, and also getting close enough to John Ashford to where he could grab.
So you guys are 40 feet away.
Okay.
As far as you can is half your speed. Oh wow. Kayan just drew a map. Kayan, you're already full on inspiration. I can't give you anymore. So you're the farthest you can move is half your speed. So you're half your speed closer. 40 feet minus half your speed. That's your distance from the patch of land.
Okay.
I believe half your speed, 25. Half your speed would be 12.
Sure.
We need to just round. We need to round on that. So we always round down in D&D. So you're 10 feet closer. So now this dry patch of land is about 30 feet away.
All right.
It's your turn.
So if I can recall, most of the fish were behind us.
No, the fish are much faster than you. They swim 100 feet a turn, and they are surrounding you from every direction. They are closing in and ready to bite.
This is gonna go bad because I'm just remembering if Cayenne gets big, he's gonna want to fight all the fish.
Yeah, Cayenne, you're
Oh
yeah. Now this is a time when your weapon may be a big liability here.
Possibly, we'll see.
And they're already all around us.
That you cannot outrun these fish. They swim.
No, I wasn't
Yeah.
trying to outrun them. I was trying to get rid of as many as I possibly can without hurting my folks.
Well, yeah, you can kill a whole bunch of them. Unfortunately, there's just there's
too many.
Yeah, there's 100 of them.
And the rope is tied off to.
The rope is tied off to a rock. You guys all have access to the rope.
I just couldn't picture it. Is the rope above us, or is it like going to the land that we were running towards?
It's going to the land.
Okay.
You see, LD is on the other side, and he's just tied off the rope for you. He's motioning for you to come on, come on.
If I make John stop leading, maybe they won't be so interested in us.
Yeah, but I didn't want us to get hit. One of us to get, or one of you guys to get hit.
No, it appears that they smell the blood and they are hungry.
Yeah, of course. Can't blame them for that.
Alright, I'm gonna, I guess... Shoot. I think I'm... Because fighting him is gonna be kind of pointless. Just gonna grab the rope and start pulling myself towards land.
Okay,
without having my feet on the ground, like a kind of swimming drag myself, so I don't like set off any other pressure plates or something like that.
Are you going to double move?
I'm going to double move, yes.
Okay, so if you double move, you can get 30 feet closer to that land. That land is 40 feet away.
Yep.
So what did you say? You're not how are you not setting off pressure plates?
So if we're in water, and the rope is tied off to the shore, I'm just gonna kind of just float in the water, almost prone-like.
So you're gonna go like Iron Man style. Give me an athletics check on that. See if you can move your full speed, just pulling yourself along without. That would be athletics.
All right. This is gonna go bad.
No, that's enough. You are able to go your full speed along the rope, which is half
30 feet.
Yeah,
half double dash, so it would be 30 feet.
It'll be total 30 feet. You are 10 feet away from the shore. All right.
And that's what I'll do, and that ends my turn.
Okay, KN, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're like sitting there holding that crossbow up above water. You don't want to get it wet because it's so precious.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little like itchy finger, and I'm like looking around.
These fish are bumping you. They're bumping against you.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same as Olaf though. I'm not going to. Well.
Are you going to not touch the floor and start?
Yeah, with one hand. That's probably not going to work, is it? Because I won't. Yeah, if I've drawn my weapon and I'm holding it above the water.
Well, I'm just saying this. I'm not saying you actually doing that. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
Because it's so precious to you, you wouldn't want to get it wet. You want to get like moss and seaweed on it and stuff, you know.
True, but I wouldn't let it.
You can hold it in your mouth.
Fair enough, then I guess. I mean, yeah, I will try the same as pull myself ahead. I guess.
Okay, athletics check if you don't want to touch. If you want to only use your arms.
Yep. I think seeing John cursing and holding bloody wounds on his legs and feet, I would not want anything to do with stepping on.
You also are able to go your full speed, and you are right next to Olaf, 10 feet away from dry land.
Perfect.
Don't you get 2 actions?
And we're going to roll a random.
Sorry, what's that, Olaf?
Don't you get 2 actions? Or you have
if
to
I
actually
action
attack?
Surge, I could take 2 actions. But they haven't actually attacked us yet, so I'm not sure using action surge to get out of the water would be the best way. So.
Rob Shore.
Great.
The first wave of quippers attacks you. 5 of them attack you. 1. 2, 3, 4. Oh, one of them. Oh. And 5.
That was a nasty bite.
Only one of them manages to bite you. It critical hits you. However, the amount of damage that these quippers do is 1 piercing damage. So a critical hit is 2 piercing damage. But, Rob Shore, you are bleeding a little bit from your leg.
Oh boy.
Second group of quippers, because John Ashford is already bleeding, they will attack him. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. John, I believe because you have damage reduction, you take 0 damage even though they bit you.
Right. Yeah, it would take. They'd have to do more than 3 damage.
Yeah, you take 0 damage. Now it's your turn.
I'm going, since it seems that the rope pull was so successful, I'm definitely going to jump on board with that and pull myself with the rope.
Okay, you need an athletics check.
Alright. Oh!
Ooh, John. Oh, you didn't throw a tower, but unfortunately the DC was 10.
Oh, well, alright.
You had the best athletics, you just, unfortunately, you didn't roll so well. So...
No, well, I had to, yeah.
You grip it, but a big current comes and sweeps you back as you try to pull yourself forward. So you're only able to move 1/2 of what you would have moved if you were to succeed. Therefore, if you were to succeed, you would have moved 30 feet. Unfortunately, you only move 15 feet. Now you are, it's total 40 feet away, so you're 25 feet away from dry land.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Eldy, watching from the shore, he takes out his little Ewok bow and starts taking out quippers that are swimming too close to the people, to you guys, the ones that are really close in front. Rob Shore, you are 30 feet away from dry land.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna try and use this rope, and as my action, I will dash, and as my bonus action, I'll also dash.
Now, are you doing the same thing the other two were doing with arms only?
I think I'm gonna have to. I mean, I don't know how deep this water is if I'm like already swimming.
Well, since you're a halfling, the water's up to the water's like up to like your nipples. Before, the deepest the water was, you were like literally was up to your chin, but now it's like up to your. All right, so roll me in athletics.
An athletics check. Let's see.
You're good. You so are you saying you dash? You have you use 3 movements, correct?
Yeah, which would be 75 divided by a half, which would be 37 and a half. 37.
All right, you are the first to make it to dry land. You are next to Eldy now. You look around you, and even though you are now on land, you look and there's these cracks all over the ground.
Huh.
There's cracks and there's rubble everywhere. You look at the temple, and you notice that there does not appear to be any door to the temple. There is a huge set of stairs that lead all the way to the top of the temple, but your attention is quickly taken away back to your teammates as they are getting swarmed by the fish.
So you said there's a bunch of, like, you said the ground had like slits in it?
Yeah. The ground has cracks. No, they're not man-made. They're natural cracks in the ground.
Okay. Well, I guess, I mean, that's the end of my turn, all my actions, so at least I'm out of the water.
You are out of the water, no longer in danger of being eaten by these piranha fish. Olaf, it's your turn.
First, going to continue to move, just normal movement, not use my action at all, and try to scurry my way to the edge.
You're 10 feet away from dry ground.
Yes. So, or using my arm to pull, that considered an action.
Even if you were to fail the athletics check, you could make it. So you go ahead and pull yourself into dry land. Anything else you want to do?
I turn around, look at the water, see if I can see if they're getting grouped anywhere,
so
something like that.
Kayan's about 10 feet away. John is about 20 feet away. And these fish are just jumping out of the water, trying to get him.
I will try to around the quippers that might attack Cayenne. I guess I will try to cast frostbite at a couple of them. See if I can prevent them from attacking.
Frostbite an area effect?
No. I have to pick a single target, I think. Yeah.
Then you may kill one of them. It's a single target.
Alright, then.
I will take one attack away if you kill one of them.
Sure. I will attack one of the fish. Nothing better to do.
You can target an attack. The fish fails its constitution save. You kill one of the fish.
And that will be the end of my turn.
Okay, Kayan, you're about 10 feet away. You're still good?
Yeah, I will... Yeah, I'll pull myself the last 10 feet and climb out of the water.
Okay.
I assume that'd be another athletics check?
No, you don't need to because you're 10 feet away. So even if you were to fail, you'd be able to get out.
Perfect. Now...
Luckily, you escaped this without getting bitten by a fish and going crazy with your crossbow of vengeance. Congratulations.
Fantastic. So this little, like, landing or space that we're on, you had said something about there's cracks in the ground?
The ground is just completely full of cracks. There's rubble all over the place. You notice that there used to be a big statue. It has fallen over and broken on the ground. You turn around and directly behind you is this temple. It's about 200 feet tall and there's a set of stairs leading up.
Okay, but at the ground, these cracks, does it look like dried, hasn't seen rain in 100 years, like parched desert?
I'll let you roll a survival check on the ground, but you'll use your action to be checking out the ground. It's not dry, certainly not dry. This whole area is just raining and raining.
Gotcha. John was how far behind me?
20 feet.
Or he was 25 feet from the edge?
Yeah, from the edge. He was 10 feet behind you.
But I've got a rope.
Yeah, I didn't think to pull him.
Trailing 40-ish feet.
Yeah, if you use your action, I will give him 10 feet on his next turn.
Fantastic. That's what I will do. I will take a firm grip on the rope and say, John, grab the rope. I'll pull you in.
Okay.
And
Alright, so Kayan starts furiously pulling, like, I guess all of you do your best to help him out. You're furiously pulling on the rope as John is floating his way in. So, since you are the only person in the water, you get all the quipper attacks, but I believe, Olaf, you killed one, right?
Yep.
John, you get 9 attacks.
Okay.
1. Oh, I'm sorry. Why did he roll with, Did he roll with advantage? Disadvantage.
Well,
no, one is unconscious.
Rolls here.
Oh, because he's unconscious.
Yeah, even if these things crit on John Ashford, they won't do damage.
Oh yeah, that.
No, I'm counting this as like if they surpass his damage reduction, they do start doing damage. Because
okay.
it's like the same turn. All right, I'm starting over again. Okay, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
These fish are rolling good.
7, 8, 9.
Quick.
Oh man, did you have to say that?
Wow.
I'm sorry, I gotta keep my mouth shut.
That is a total of 4 damage. John, you absorb 3 damage. Therefore, you take 1 point of piercing damage. You've had just about enough of these fish biting the hell out of you.
Yes. Oh, you already gave me the point. All right. Yep.
So you are. Kayan pulls you in 10 feet, so you don't need to do any rolls. Even if you were to fail, you can pull yourself on dry land.
Perfect. So, all right, I get up there. Kind of like, what the heck?
You guys jump out of the water, getting yourself onto dry land. You guys are out of breath after what you just went through, and you can see the huge pile of fish just jumping out of the water in this feeding frenzy. Once they have nothing else to bite, they start biting each other, and you see the water just turns red with blood. And while you guys are kind of looking around, all of a sudden you start feeling a tremor. You look directly beneath you, and the ground begins to crack. It was already cracked, but little pieces of the ground begin falling away, and you realize in horror that there is a thin kind of floor, and beneath the floor is just empty space. And you notice that little pieces of the ground start falling away. You look around in any direction you can run. Unfortunately, the only direction you can really run is back towards the water, because if you were to run towards the temple, you wouldn't be, the temple is too far away. It's about at least 100 feet away. You guys turn and try to dash towards the temple as the ground starts falling away. It falls faster and faster and faster until you guys lose your footing and you fall away with the ground. LD looks at you like, with his eyes wide open. Even he can't escape with his massive speed. There's nothing for him to jump onto or hold on to as the ground caves away and little boulders start streaming back and forth. We're back in initiative, and you guys, boom, hit a slope with a thud. So you've fallen through the ground, and now you are in a steep incline with boulders streaming all around you as you guys are sliding down. Trying not to get hit by boulders. Elvy's up first. He narrowly dashes. He jumps on one of the boulders, jumps off the second boulder as 2 boulders smash together. Robshore, now it's your turn. Your butt is on the ground. You're sliding downward at a steep angle. And all around you, there's rubble and boulders, and you can see your allies just sliding with you.
Let's see. I don't know if I would have still tried to have held on to the rope, I guess. I guess not, once I was up on top of there.
Yeah, the rope is around John, and it's with you guys sliding down.
Okay, so like the rock was tied onto.
The minute John got on and put his heavy plate mail on the ground, you guys were stead. That was like the critical mass, and the floor just broke.
Okay, so I don't know what to do. I mean, we're sliding down.
You look around you, and there's like a huge boulder that's about to crash into you.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely try and dodge any immediate threats.
Okay, if you're gonna just try to dodge this boulder coming at you.
Yeah.
Okay, dexterity saving throw. You do a very swift roll, and the boulder flies right past you. Olaf, the boulder's coming at you now. So you're sliding, you turn around and you see a big boulder rolling towards you. You saw Rob Shore just dodge out of the way.
How far away is Cayenne from me?
Cayenne, let's say he's like, he's within melee range.
Because there currently is still a rope attached to him, I think, right? With a fishing lure on the back.
Yep.
I figured I would try to grab that rope and then try to roll and dodge this boulder.
Okay, you can grab that rope. Rolling and dodging the boulder needs a dexterity saving throw.
Doke.
Ooh, that boulder slams right into you. You get 9 bludgeoning damage, but you do have your hand on the rope. Dan, that boulder slammed into Olaf, so you're in the clear.
Okay.
You are on your butt, sliding. You are moving rapidly, sliding down a steep incline. You look around you. You have a rope tied to you. Of course, the rope is tied to you and that object you had in the water previously. You can see all your allies, and right next to you, you can see LD is just like dexterously jumping from boulder to boulder, not getting hit. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Do we see where we're sliding towards?
You're sliding towards utter darkness.
Utter darkness. And the rope is trailing behind me, but Olaf has sort of got a hand on it.
Yep.
Is Olaf behind me to the right or the left?
Let's say to the right.
Right. Do we see, are there any trees, scraggly bushes, larger rocks?
This appears to be a man-made cavern. There are lots of large rocks, but nothing. You're moving so fast, you're not sure you can actually hold on to anything. You try to grab the ground that you're slipping on, but you're moving too fast. You think you'll probably injure yourself if you try to grab anything.
Yeah, I'm just, But we're not taking any damage, correct?
Well, Olaf, Boulder just slammed into Olaf.
Olaf, but we're not taking damage from the fall or from this sliding.
You're getting scraped up pretty bad, but I'm not actively taking away hit points at this point.
Okay. I am going to... I mean, it's going to sound dumb, but I'm going to take the dodge action.
Oh, that's not dumb at all.
That was actually going to be my plan too.
All right.
Yeah, I am. I'm just going to do dodge and.
Well, the boulder's not coming to hit you, so there's nothing to dodge right now.
Right now,
you can actually see all the boulders coming to hit you. John, you're also taking the dodge action.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay. You curl up in a ball like an armadillo in your plate mail.
Oh yeah, that's great.
You guys continue to slide. What seems to go on for like 2 minutes. You're just sliding down this steep incline. And then finally, whap! You hit the floor. Constitution saving throw for everybody. Except for the people who dodged, you get advantage.
Oh, perfect.
Fantastic.
This is an all or nothing Constitution saving throw.
The people who took the dodge action or who just dodged the boulder?
No, who took the dodge action.
Okay.
Holy shit, Olaf. Damn, nice roll.
Fair roll.
That's a great roll, Olaf.
Are any of those rolls coming through?
That's a good roll too, Rob Shore. Yeah, John, you get advantage on Constitution.
Yeah, actually, I'm trying to roll.
Kaya, you get advantage also. Well, you don't even need advantage.
There you go, John.
Oh, well, okay. Never mind then.
I had to have no idea why
Okay.
I rolled.
Everybody succeeds on that Constitution saving throw. Whap! You guys hit the stone floor. You are in some sort of chamber. You can't see anything as the rubble behind you begins to just fall down so hard that it completely seals the entrance that you fell through. Like airtight seal. And then once the rubble seals, a little bit of water starts trickling in. You can feel you feel like water at your feet. You guys are in complete darkness. So even if you had dark vision, you still can't see because there's not even ambient light at this point. You hear LD somewhere around you, knowing just indicating that he's down here with you.
Yep. So we're going to have to light a torch.
Okay. Who wants to light the torch?
Well, we do have that scroll that has something glowing in it that came down with that tied to Cayenne. We can just open up the scroll.
Whatever was inside got lost. The scroll the scroll case got broken.
I mean, we can just cast light.
Yeah, we'll cast light again.
Yeah, that might be better than lighting a torch.
Okay, who's gonna get the light on them?
So, my goggles of night were lost?
No, they're not lost, but even with dark vision, there has to be some ambient light to see. When it is complete and utter darkness without any light source, dark vision doesn't even work. Dark vision it's like night vision. It amplifies a tiny bit of light.
What about my devil sight, though?
Devil sight should work no matter what, because that's worked in magical darkness too.
Yeah.
Devil sight. Oh, you don't have devil sight on you. I forgot. You didn't tell me you
yes,
had
I do.
devil sight.
Yeah, we have it in my sheet. 120 feet of true sight is set up.
Is anybody else getting like mic weirdness?
I am not.
Okay, maybe it's just me. I'm gonna rejoin Discord. It's been strange. I'll be right back.
Oh, you do have true sight. So I think only Olaf can see. So Olaf, you raise your head and you look around and you see your teammates kind of very dirty and a little bit beat up. You are in what appears to be a bizarre-looking square chamber, rectangular chamber, clearly man-made. The rectangular chamber runs wide, east to west. Well, actually, you don't know what's east or west.
To right.
Everybody else, you're just in utter darkness. You hear LD in a corner.
Yeah, I think Olaf was casting.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab some of the rubble that we came down with, like a rock or something like that, and cast light on it.
Okay, so you cast light on a rock. I will put the light effect on you then. Okay, so you're holding the rock.
Oh, are we in a map now?
We are. I'm just fixing stuff.
Okay.
Okay, I think actually now will be a good time for that, for a little break, a brief bathroom break for everybody.
Okay.
Sure.
Drink break.
Not now, we're here.
Okay, everybody back?
I think so.
So first thing is I gotta, one thing is I just gotta, it's a issue I gotta tell everybody. So this is not my choice. You can thank the people who originally wrote this adventure, but direction down here is warped. It's meant to be disorienting. North is not up. North is left. West is down. East is up, and south is right. I don't know why, but this is just how they do it. Everything. I actually try to look for an accurate map because it just annoys me. But that is how they want this module to be played. So therefore, you guys are looking around, and this is a chamber that is a large rectangular chamber that runs east to west, not north and south, even though it's up and down. I wish Fantasy Grounds would let me just twist it. That'd be awesome.
Or could we not just go with it and say...
yeah, we had to go with it just because the entire module is written with those directions in mind. That is why.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
otherwise I'd have to sit there and stop every 5 seconds and think, oh, wait, does he mean west? Or is he saying north or up?
If we end up saying up and down, left and right, that
would actually be better. But I don't know why, but this is actually how this is how the original module was written, and this is how they intended the module to be. Don't ask me why. I don't see what this adds to the game, but that's how it is. I promise this is the only module that does this. Ever.
Okay.
So you are in a long, narrow chamber running east to west. In the center of this chamber is a domed shape on the floor. In the east wall, east being up, in the east wall is a blank stone door. The west end of the room is blocked by fallen stone, and this is exactly where you guys had fallen through. It is completely sealed off. The two side walls, north and south, appear to have several niches cut into them, sort of like alcoves inside the wall. The shape in the center of the chamber appears to be a small alcove in itself. It's a circular object with a small alcove in it, and it's protected by a half dome with the open end facing towards the wall, the east door. Remember, east being up. This alcove is set in a recessed shallow, a tiled well, 1 foot deep and 10 feet wide. The alcove itself is 4 feet high. The recess contains some sort of stone display, and all the recesses appear to contain some sort of a diorama. There are several different dioramas. The one in the center, the first thing you look at appears to be a hunting party of Mastican warriors in feathers and deer hide garments in a mountainside scene carved into the alcove at the back. Some of these warriors have pulled down a stag, and with the aid of a dog, another group is cleaning a small deer. There are others surrounding them with spears. There is a scout in that I'm talking about in the center. There's a scout watching the panther from an outcropping from above. He holds a metal staff with a loop on its end. It looks like some sort of shepherd's loop. One thing about this module, it's going to get extremely descriptive. That's just how it is. I know. That's a lot to take in, but you can please take your time, think about what's going on, think about what you want to do.
Okay, so you're saying there are these 6 alcoves. Yes. And each one has a different depiction in it?
Yes. And there's a center alcove, which seems to be the centerpiece of the whole thing. That's the what I just described. It seems to be a hunting party.
I think we should examine the door and see if there's a... Because he said it was just a flat door, that he didn't say anything about a door handle or whatever.
Wait, were you describing the alcove of the circular thing in the center?
Yes, that was the previous. Okay. So if you want to examine the other alcoves, I'll give you their description. There's just so many. There's 6 of them. That's why. But the center one is the one that grabs your attention immediately as you look around.
The center alcove was a hunting party.
Yes, it displays a hunting party in feathers and deer hide. These are kind of Mastican warriors. It's in a mountainside scene, and it appears they just took down a stag. They and the dog just took down a stag.
And when you said one of the hunting party looked like a shepherd looking guy, or they're like shepherd off to the side?
Most of the hunters all look similar, but there's another guy. He's a scout that's off to the side, and the scout is watching a panther from an outcropping. The scout is holding a metal staff with a loop that looks like a shepherd's crook.
Is the panther looking like it's going to attack the hunting party?
No, the scout is stalking the panther.
Okay.
These are all like little action figure, stone action figures that have been arranged in this scene like a diorama.
Okay.
all of the hunters look the same though, with the same weird.
The hunters all look.
Pole?
The hunters all look the same. It's the scout. It appears to be like another hunter that's away from the others. This guy looks a little bit different. He has a little curved pole. The other objects that are action figures there are the panther and the dog.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome to old school D&D.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of step back and do lay on hands while we're looking at this.
Sure. Now, you guys spend a couple of minutes looking around, kind of thinking about what to do, and then you all realize there is a foul stench in the air. You look around you, and there is a layer of green gas. It appears to be just floating around you. You start taking a breath in, and there's an acrid smell, and LD screams out, "Arr! Arr!" The ring says, "Poison."
All right, I think we need to go check the door.
Everybody rolls a Constitution saving throw. You realize that there is just poison throughout this chamber. The magic DC is 15.
I don't know why in the world I keep rolling. It's not letting me do it. There it goes.
Okay. Olaf and... Oh, hold on. I need to roll one for LD too. He's not safe from... LD fails too. So, Olaf, Rob Shore, and LD, you take 3 poison damage. You realize that the air itself down here is poisoned, and intermittently you may get even more badly poisoned.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to move to the door to check it out.
Yeah.
You realize that you are now on a timer. You're not going to be able to rest in this poison.
Oh, no.
No. Die. So you look. You go up to the door, and the door is carved with a sun symbol. Roll me a religion check.
Oh, perfect. All right. Oh, dang on it. I had religion. Nope.
This is not just any sun symbol. You realize, you're a little bit confused.
Is it similar to the one we saw outside?
It's actually a little bit different than the one you saw outside. This is a symbol you actually recognize. This sun symbol is the symbol of Lathander.
Huh. Wow. I let the party know. This is Lathander.
Exactly. It's different from the Tezga symbol you were looking at before. Now you're seeing something that clearly belongs in Faerun.
So we do know that there was a traveler that came here, and he could have very well brought
Lathander here.
The
teachings of Lathander.
The teachings of the Lathander here.
Yeah. Yes. So now the situation's getting a little more complex. So, more about the door. The door is carved with a symbol of Lathander, and the door opens into the room you're standing. There are hinges on the side and scratches on the floor. There's no visible lock or handle, although a slight gap stretches across the top of the door. 8 holes seem to have been drilled into the door. They are about 1 inch each, but you can't see anything through them. The door seems really, really thick. Like you try to budge it, it doesn't move. The top of the door, that beam on the top, it's called the lintel. It is arched with a keystone at the top.
Okay.
Keystone is like that. It's like that little stone that holds the whole thing together.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Olaf is gonna come check out the alcove that he's standing next to, see what he sees.
Okay, alcove F, correct?
Uh,
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't know what's called alcove F. I do.
The southern.
I see it.
The southwest one.
Yeah. So this is a scene that shows various forms of crafting. There are 12 masticans, and they are all sitting down, busy weaving rugs and baskets. Some of them are carving totems, making pots, and grinding stones. It seems like they're making some crude weapons and clothes.
John, tell us about the drilled holes in the door.
Oh, there are 8 1-inch drilled holes going through the door. You can't see anything beyond it. It's only darkness.
Do I see anything in
Olaf, you have a true sight, so you look beyond these holes, and it appears to open up to some sort of hallway.
I'm gonna say, in this alcove, do I see anything that would fit in those holes, like among these figurines or whatever?
You don't see anything among your alcove that you think would fit into that hole, those holes.
Okay.
Picking up on what Olaf is doing, I'll move up to the one. So we're going counterclockwise. It would be middle south wall.
Okay. In this display, it depicts some sort of a creation of the world, because you see the statues that you guys had seen previously of Kukul and Mastika. It appears that Kukul and Mastika are in this kind of a love-making kind of depiction, and you see that the land is being formed.
Okay.
Interesting. Same question that Olaf had. Hearing there's holes in the door. Does anything in my little alcove here look like a key or removable?
Well, the only thing that's removable from any of these alcoves are these little action figures, these figurines.
Just the little figures themselves.
Yeah, everything else is like carved into the alcove.
Okay, I'll pick up the figurines at my little alcove.
Okay, you pick up the figurines, nothing happens. You kind of turn them around in your hand, and you don't think that they're going to fit into. They're not going to be fitting into anything.
Do they have any special markings or anything on the bottom?
No. They are just very, very carefully, intricately carved.
Are the figurines like when I'm in the alcove, like the figurines like fit for this alcove? Not, I mean, what I mean by that is like all the figurines make up the entire scene, not like if I take them out, like does it leave the entire alcove blank? You know what I mean?
No, the alcove itself has a scene carved into it. These figurines are the only movable things in the alcove. They're like little stone action figures.
Mm-hmm.
Silly question. Does it look like there's somewhere to put them on the center pedestal?
You can put them anywhere you want, but it doesn't look. You can't see any like area that they're supposed to go.
Okay, I'll just put mine back down in the little alcove that I got them from. Huh. Anyone see a way out of this?
In the center alcove, you guys look at the center alcove, and this is the figurine of the scout. In the center alcove, yeah.
Does that knife and wooden thing come off?
Yeah,
they're like hands are not all the way wrapped around.
They're like little attachable things, part of the action figure. Sort of like when you buy
like the G.I. Joe.
You buy a Thor action figure, and you can take off the hammer. That's sort of like what it is.
I'd take off the knife and that wooden.
Okay. Yeah, the knife is just a little small obsidian kind of knife. It's actually sharp. And that curved thing, it's like a little piece of brass.
Oh, it's not wood. Okay. Huh. Well, I have them off, and I show the group. I guess these little action figures, their little weapons come off. Oh, I'm here, I guess.
Okay.
See if it fits in like the slots on the door.
I don't think this has anything to. I mean, the door has holes drilled in it. Neither one of these would fit in the holes. I mean, I give it to Rob Shore. I give both of them to Rob Shore.
Yeah, these things are actually too small for the holes themselves. Obviously, they're smaller than the holes. They would like slide right through the hole. The holes are about an inch.
Right, and these little figures.
Yeah, there's 8 small holes drilled into that door.
All right. Well, I handed the stuff to Rob Shore, and I put the thing back. Does any of the other things have detachable toys?
The warriors all have their small, like, detachable weapons. They have little detachable spears.
And
I'm gonna go check out
way
this.
Too small.
Gonna go check out this alcove over here.
Which one are we talking about?
To the northwest.
Which north?
The left down one.
Okay, left down. Left down.
I'm trying to go by what is north and south for real in this game.
You're talking about this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In this little alcove, the display portrays a temple upon a tiered pyramid, very similar to the temple you guys were looking at before you fell into this hole. There are 7 masticans that are bringing offerings. Appears to be very, very fancy-looking offerings of gold and jade. And in front of the temple, standing right there, there appears to be some sort of priest-like figure wearing a fancy robe. And right next to him, there's a massive snake. All these are movable figures. Around him are standing 3 warriors. One dressed as a winged serpent that's holding a spear, another dressed as a bear with like these razor claws, and a third one which looked dressed like a coyote who's holding a torch.
Hmm. What is next to the pedestal next to me, the middle one to the west?
You're talking about this
left
one.
middle.
Yeah, unfortunately, north, south, east, and west are completely upside down. It's part of the disorienting nature
Rotated
of this
clockwise or counterclockwise.
Yeah. This display portrays 12 masticans who appear to be farming. They are planting, you guys probably don't know about it, but they're planting corn. But corn is not actually something that's present in Faerun. So you guys see this weird looking crop that they appear to be harvesting. There are also 5 armed warriors standing guard and a priest standing right next to them. The priest is wearing this bizarre looking bird costume.
Hmm.
Can I sift through some of the rubble at the western where we landed?
Yeah, you realize that when you're sifting through the rubble, you see that there's water trickling in. It's not trickling in very fast, but kind of slowly, and the floor is starting to get damp around it. You realize that the rubble has caved in so much that it's sealed off the entire mouth of this cavern.
Fair enough. I'm not necessarily looking through it. I'm looking for something under it. Like, was there another indication of an alcove or another one of these?
Unfortunately, if there was, it's been destroyed.
Gotcha. So there's no keys, there's no handle, there's no...
I don't know, can I inspect this door up here with the holes in it?
Yes. Well, how would you like to inspect this door? You gotta be a little kind of specific. It's a little bit different than our previous modules where I just say, oh yeah, I want to check it out, roll something. Tell me exactly what you're doing with the store. I described it as best I could.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed to be somewhat plain, except for the 6 holes in it. You said, right? You said there is a.
It's a solid stone slab. There are 8 holes drilled through it onto one side. It has hinges on the other side. Let's say the left side has hinges, and the right side has these holes drilled in. It has that little beam on top of the door that seals the door in. There's a narrow space between the door and the beam. Like maybe 2 inches or so. The beam has what's called a keystone in it. It's like a stone that kind of props up the other stones around it. But what do you want to check out, or what do you want to look at?
I think I want to look at the holes and maybe like grab something out of my pack and kind of take a look at them, see if they maybe look familiar, and then maybe like poke around a little bit. I've got like a dart or piece of. I've got probably something kind of small to maybe like poke in there and see.
About an inch, so it's got to be able to fit through like an inch in diameter.
Yeah, so maybe like the tip of a dart, I can kind of poke in there and see if it's some kind of like mechanism or if it's just drilled all the way through the stone.
You poke some stuff through it. Everything you poke through it seems to go all the way through. You realize that the door is like 3 feet thick.
Oh, interesting. And has it been? I mean, have we checked to see if it's locked?
You push against it. It does not budge.
And open towards us.
Okay.
What else would you like to check out on the door?
Well, I suppose the keystone maybe at the top.
Oh, very good. So, how are you going to check out the keystone? You can take a close look at it. You're going to
maybe not that. Maybe not that close. Jeez. Let's see. Who's got the 10-foot pole? No, nobody's got the 10-foot pole.
I have the next best thing.
Yeah, you got a crossbow, I guess.
Nope. I specifically stopped at the store.
What did you buy?
Here, and because I have my magical quiver that can store spears and quarterstaves, I picked up 3 quarterstaves just for this purpose. So I will reach into my quiver and hand you a quarterstaff, which presumably is at least 5 or 6 feet long.
Yeah, to me that's a full staff, not a quarter staff.
Oh.
And as you start pulling this out, I hope you are humming just a spoonful of sugar. Mary Poppins style.
Excellent. I think that's a fantastic idea. You are able to manage to kind of shove the quarterstaff beneath the keystone, and as you move the quarterstaff around in the keystone, the quarterstaff goes all the way through, of course, but within the key, somewhere very close to the edge of the keystone, beneath it, there's some sort of recess, like a little bump.
So maybe I might. Can I peek up there if I got on somebody's shoulders?
Unfortunately, there's not enough space to actually peek where it is. You know that there's a little bump because the quarterstaff, as you move it out, it bumps something.
So maybe I guess I would kind of keep feeling around the quarterstaff to see if it's some kind of like mechanism to open the door.
You think it is some sort of mechanism, but you don't know how to activate it.
I see. So could like something be like put up there or put into that little area?
You're not sure. You got to try it.
So I guess I would just kind of like, judging on what I think it looks like, I think I would look around the room to see what kind of things are there. Was there a priest at every one of these little dioramas?
Not every single one of them. Some of them there was like a priest figurine.
So
what about that shepherd's staff?
Yeah, maybe that staff. And you said it came off, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's like an action figure that has a little slot and you put it in, like Thor's hammer. If you were to buy a Thor action figure.
Yeah. Yeah. So that looks like it's got some kind of special. It's got like a bottom to it that's a cross and a
So
hook.
John hands you the staff. You think that it is actually a perfect fit for that little area.
Okay, well then I'll walk over here and
Can he reach?
Prepare to be healed. Yeah, whose shoulders do I need to stand on?
Rapture, how about you let me use Mage Hand to try to activate this little keyhole?
Okay, good idea.
And I take the key from him and Mage Hand it into the slot.
All right,
There is a slot.
There is a slot. The key is a perfect fit right into that slot. You're able to fit the key in, and it kind of, you jimmy something, and you hear some sort of click.
We heard a click, guys.
Can we? Is there anything on this side of the door that we can secure purchase on?
What do you mean by that?
Like, can we try and pull the door inwards?
The door only goes in. You realize because of the hinges on the door that the door opens in.
Correct. Yeah, but you said Olaf Mage Hand the little shepherd.
Yeah. So something up there actually. He clicked something up there.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking. Is there any way we can actually pull on the door to see if it'll open inwards?
The door is just stone slab. You got to think of how you want to open it inwards.
So there's a little gap at the top.
There's 8 holes and little gap. The holes go all the way through.
Maybe if we
that's on the
take
right-hand side of the door, and they're inch wide, but then there's like a 2-inch gap at the top of the door.
Yeah.
So maybe
plenty big enough.
Maybe we can shove something in the hole, one of the holes, and use that as leverage to kind of create a door handle.
Yeah, or like I can maybe tie a dart to a rope and push it through the hole and then kind of see if I can pull it back through and it'll catch.
Sure, you want to try that?
Sure.
All right, so I guess you fashion, you tie the rope around the dart and you shove the dart through that hole. You pull on the rope and it is surprisingly easy. The door just swings open.
Okay.
With a loud groan. And it opens up to a hallway to your east. The hallway makes a sharp turn to the north.
Okay, well, I guess I will be sneaking ahead to see. So I'm gonna go ahead and get real sneaky.
Okay.
And hopefully with my goggles of night vision and Olaf kind of having some amount of light behind me,
as long as there's a light source somewhere, the light will bounce off walls. Your dark vision's good.
Okay. All right, so I'll go ahead and go through here. So
you sneak around and you look, and this opens into a big, narrow hallway. The stone walls of this corridor are carved to resemble a stack of bamboo-like logs. You look to your left and right, it looks like a forest carved into the wall itself. The passage actually slopes down. So it actually will slope down a total of 10 feet, and it ends in what appears to be a bronze double door. The bronze, it doesn't look like a very thick door. It just looks like a bronze door that's been kind of beaten with a hammer to create a scene, and the scene looks like a forest of seaweed. Perception check.
Do you want everybody to do that?
No, just Rob Shore.
Because he's the only one out.
Rob Shore, that roll was fantastic. Rob Shore, this entire floor that beneath you is one huge pressure plate. Even though you have actually stepped onto the pressure plate, it doesn't appear you've activated it. You think that this pressure plate requires a certain amount of weight. When all that weight is on the pressure plate, the floor will depress. So there's some sort of shenanigans, some trap going on over here.
Okay.
So
So
literally,
let's see.
from here to here, the entire floor is a pressure plate.
Okay. I'm gonna call out LD. LD, I need you up here.
No.
All right. I would inform the gang that it looks like we maybe need something heavy for this pressure plate. The problem is I guess, where does the pressure plate seem to start?
Does it look more?
You see where I marked it off? That's
Oh,
where
okay.
that is the entire length of the pressure plate.
Does it look smoky over there, by the way?
So you, because you actually were stepping on that area, you realized that this pressure plate requires a certain amount of weight to activate.
Yeah.
Like you alone was not enough to activate the plate.
Yeah. So I think I would kind of tell the guys like, hey, everybody, like throw me your pack, and I think I might start trying to like stack up the packs right here. And I'm going to try and stay around this corner in case something shoots out, but just kind of tossing the packs onto the plate.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
About how much weight are we talking about here if you put everybody's pack there?
I got 80 pounds is in my pack. You guys probably have about, I don't know, maybe similar, maybe 70, 80 pounds.
No, I have a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, well, mine's 166, but that's
my pack is
armor.
100, or is not 100, is 60 pounds. My backpack.
All right, let me minus the. So, mine is about 90.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
about 100.
80, 90, 60, and 100. Yeah, no. Yeah. Let's see.
So just tell me which pack you're throwing on first.
So I'd throw mine on first because mine will go on there. So that's 80. I'd throw another 80 on.
80, and then you throw whose pack is it now?
Oh God, am I going to lose everything? Is this going to go?
You don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, let's.
I just follow the rules of the module, man.
Yeah. Remix. Let me go ahead and tie a rope through all these packs.
Oh, that's a way better idea.
Okay. Okay, you tie a rope that connects all the packs. No problem.
And we all hold on to it together.
Yeah, so I'm going to tie a rope through all these packs, and then I'll throw on 80, and I'll throw on another 80.
Okay. So whose packs are you throwing? You throw your own pack, and then whose pack?
My own pack, and then let's see, who's next?
LD doesn't have anything, so.
How much was your pack?
Mine was 60.
Okay, so I'll throw 60 on.
Okay, so that's 80 plus 60.
That's 140.
Nothing happens.
Olaf, how much is yours?
I think it's 100.
Okay, so
I could be wrong.
I'd throw his pack, which is 100 on there, all tied together.
Okay, that's 240 total.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, well, mine was 100 as well. So.
Okay. So
hang on, how about we go grab some of this rubble that fell down here?
Yeah. Maybe you guys can start doing that.
Yep.
Bring our packs back, and we'll just try to grab as much daisy chain, a bunch of rubble over there.
Yeah. So that's what we maybe would do is we could spend maybe 5 or 10 minutes just kind of grabbing rocks and throwing them down this hallway.
Okay, but remember this poison gas, you're sniffing it and it's smelling real bad. So you had like 240 pounds of stuff on it. It didn't activate. So
okay.
The center statue in the like little pillar or alcove thing in the middle of the room we landed in, does it move?
It's not a statue. It's a little diorama with small figurines. Those figurines don't weigh much.
No, the one in the middle.
Yeah, that's another alcove. That's the one where you got that cooked staff. that you used to open the door.
Yeah, but was it sitting on the floor? I'm
No,
assuming
it's a
there's
pedestal.
like...
It's like a
Yeah,
pedestal
it's
that has like a
carved.
back to it. It's all
Yeah.
carved, like
This
a
is
little
carved
diorama.
into the ground. You can't lift it. It's like it's part of the ground. It's like a carved in piece of stone.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I guess that I wrongfully assumed like the little alcoves and the dioramas were at like waist level, like raised off the floor.
They're about 4 feet.
Okay, so what are they sitting on then? Like the one in the middle, is it just like a complete solid stone
Yeah,
pillar?
it's a piece of stone carved into half of it's carved into the
Yeah, does
ground,
that
but it has
stone itself move?
no.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Okay, so we would keep chunking rocks and rubble onto this thing.
You can go ahead and move rubble and chuck the rubble onto it, but you realize that if you stay in this poison that much longer by moving all this rubble, you might have to incur another Constitution saving throw.
Hey, I got an idea. I'm gonna go there. We put 240 pounds on it. None of us weigh that much. Why don't we cross over the plate one at a time?
Okay.
Because if we stay in here much longer, we're gonna die. And with that, I'm going to take a chance, and I'm just going to walk over to the door.
So there's already 240 pounds on it.
Oh, no. I thought, yeah.
Oh, no. Are you walking this way with the packs on, or are you waiting?
Oh, no. No. If it has all that weight on it, I say let's get the weight off there, and let's just, like, everybody come out of that room.
Yeah, we can go one at a time.
Yeah, we're going to get the weight off there and go one at a time. We know that it can hold 240, and none of us weigh that much. So
Exactly. That is brilliant thinking. You already have inspiration, so you're good. All right, so John, you step onto it. You know that this thing can hold 240 pounds. Step onto it. You don't activate the trap.
Oh, good. So
you get to these hammered bronze doors, and they kind of push inward. There's no visible lock on them.
Oh, right here.
No, not here.
Oh, at the back.
Yeah, okay. At the end. No, those aren't doors. Those are just it's part of the these are like little seams and things like that. Little like what I was saying, it's carved like a bamboo forest.
Okay. I'm gonna wait till the rest of the party gets here, and I'll let Rob take a look at it. I mean, he's the
well, we might, that pressure plate might that pressure plate might go all the way to the door.
It does. You are sure of it. That pressure plate covers the door itself, so
we're gonna have to open that door.
So the area that I marked off, that is the entire pressure plate.
Oh, okay. So it's going to if it's going to cover the door, we're going to have to
so we have to open it to have somewhere to go.
Right.
So you need to see if you can open that door.
All right. And you said there's no
discernible lock or handle or anything. The doors just seem to swing outward into the room you're going to.
Oh, then I swing them outward.
You swing them outward, and they let out this loud, shrill creak, like the hinges have not been oiled in forever. And you look beyond you, and it is a large room completely filled with mud. The room is constructed of large stone blocks. It's buttressed in the corners. The walls are wet and slimy. There's mud that covers the entire floor, and with a thin coating. To the east, which is up, to the east and west, there are other stone walls recessed into the wall. To the north, which is directly to the left, there's a set of stairs that lead down. In the mud, you look around, and there's a big boulder right in the center of the room. And you look at the boulder, and you could swear there's something moving behind that boulder.
What's that turret? The little gun that looks like a gun, or what's that?
It's not a turret. It's that's just a boulder. I don't know why that little stick. It looks like a stick. It's not a stick.
Yeah, it looks like an axe barrier.
Yeah, it's a big boulder right in the middle of the room.
Okay. Well, I'm going to kind of very carefully step here, and so someone else can come up here, and we just kind of continue to make room.
The minute you step into the room, a shape crawls out from behind that boulder. It was sort of hiding when you opened the door. And it appears to be a giant crayfish. It chitters out, and it goes back and forth, and looks at you, and some sort of noise comes out of it. Iglamo estiga. Ligamo estiga. Like, well, it's as if this thing is speaking.
Oh. All right, I call back. Hey, we need that shell.
The ring, Olaf.
You're off the plate. Go. I meander my way up there if I can.
You get up there and you look at the ground. The ground is just a thick layer of mud everywhere, along the walls, along the ceiling, and you see this crayfish just going back and forth, back and forth. Its beady eyes are looking at you, swirling, and once again it says, "Ublado de gala desa."
Did the ring hear what it say?
The ring responds, "Who is this? Who dares enter the chamber of the Guardian? You had better go, or I will have to discharge my sacred duty. Be off before I lose my temper." That's what that's what this creature appears to be saying in ancient Mazdagan.
Olaf seeing this giant laughter thing, thinking, that could make a nice yummy meal.
Yes, you realize that the amount of lobster tail you can get from this crayfish is insane, because this thing is huge. But it also looks kind of dangerous.
Well, the problem is this daggone mud, and you said it's got a thin film on top of it. So is it slick, or is it?
It is slick. Like you can, like you take one step into it, and you think that if you're going to make a sudden movement, you might fall down.
Oh yeah, there will be no sudden movements. I've already fallen enough. Okay. Well, I think that we need to get the rest of our folks over here, and shut this door before the poison starts coming in here. So I'm going to take another 5-foot step to room, and I kind of motion for Olaf to do the same.
As you take a 5-foot step, as you take another step into the room, the lobster now approaches, puts up its claws like in a threatening manner.
Okay, I have my sword and shield out, but I'm gonna hold my hands open. I put my sword away.
All right,
and I hold my hands open and and say we do not mean to, and I speak in the ring. We do not mean to dishonor this hall or this tomb. We come seeking knowledge.
We are trapped. We fell down the hole and we can't get back up.
The creature says something. And the ring translate. I am the guardian of this place. Me and Kalakayala. Because if you take one step further, you will be eaten.
Do you know how we can get out of here?
You go back the way you came.
But we can't.
Then you must be eaten. It says.
The passage collapsed. We don't want.
I like this guy.
If you cannot go back, then you must be eaten. And he starts snapping his claws at you.
And then Olaf says, not if we eat you first.
Are you guys initiating battle?
Well, let's
No, I mean,
ask this guy.
he's talking to us. I mean, I think that we can talk to him.
Yeah, but the creature makes it very clear that if you take one more step forward, it's going to attack.
Well, I mean, we're going to talk first.
Yeah, you're talking now.
And who's
the creature's got?
Who's the other guy?
Kaila Kaela. You do not see him, but he sees you.
Yeah.
Can we talk to him?
Yeah. Can we?
I am one to talk. Kaila Kaela only eats.
We don't believe you.
While this is going on,
let's not try to anger him. I mean, until negotiations break down, let's just.
Yeah, but we could maybe fool him into showing us if this person is hidden somewhere.
Olaf is going to bring Pepper out and try to see if I can use Pepper's echolocation to spot anyone else in this chamber.
Let's have Pepper do a. What should I? Let's have Pepper do a. Pepper can do a perception check.
Sure.
Pepper kind of communicates to you that there is no other creatures in this room besides this giant crayfish.
Okay.
Even with his echolocation and blind senses, he tells you he can locate no other creatures.
Okay. So unfortunately, we're dealing with a lying crayfish. So I say, great red lobster. What is the chamber to the north? Or nope, to the east. What is the chamber up?
Up.
It's east, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chamber leads to the tomb.
Is your friend down the stairs?
The tomb of Taloques Popolucas.
Oh, Taloques. Are you set here by Taloques to guard his tomb?
I don't remember who sent me. I am here forever guarding me and Kakakyala.
I kind of look back to the group. I think he went crazy. I mean, if he's been here forever, I mean, we know this place is ancient. I think I think that big rock in the middle is his friend, and he's just kind of like he made. Remember what is that Castaway? He made
Tom Hanks. He made Wilson.
He made a Wilson. So instead of it's the Kakalaka, whatever.
Kakakiala.
Oh yes.
What's to the south?
It's
the south.
West.
Oh, you mean west.
West.
The south.
Sorry, west.
The south is full of acidic water, the courses of the gods.
And then, do you know what's down your stairs there?
I do not know. I've never gone.
Would you like to go down with us?
I will not leave this place. I am to guard it. I am to eat the trespassers. Me and Kakakiala.
Oh, yes, Kakakiala.
Well, what if we left this room and went to a different room? Then we wouldn't be trespassing in your room anymore.
You can roll I guess would that be a persuasion? That's a deception?
Both.
I guess.
Well, it's more like a logic trap, so I'll take a persuasion if you want.
Persuasion? Okay.
Yeah.
Hail Mary.
He says, "You cannot go further. I must eat you if you do.
We are not very tasty. I don't know why you would want to eat us.
It is all that I exist for, to eat. To eat the trespassers. And, he kind of goes back and forth around this rock.
Oh yeah. So when is the last time that you ate then?
I do not remember. I do not know.
We have rations that we would be happy to share with you. I know it has been a long time since you enjoyed a meal. Can we
Only
trade
if you
these
have...
rations for passage?
Well, can you feed both me and Kakakiala?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sure Kakakiala doesn't eat very much. We have Kakakiala where we come from. He is called Wilson.
Okay, so how many rations are you? Because this lobster is freaking huge. So how much rations are you willing to offer it?
Well, I don't want. The bottom line is, guys, we have to save our resources, and if we could split some rations, I would rather do that than fight. Yet, I mean, I've loaded up on rations. I have 10. What does everybody have?
10.
So, what about well, we don't have a way to create rations. What about everybody gets 3, and that would be
I can cook up
12.
Try to make something even better out of them, maybe, and give it to me.
Well,
we don't have the time.
The amount of time it would take you to cook, you guys are gonna get poisoned.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, let's ask him if we give him some
12
food.
rations. We'll give you, and I show him the rations. It has this tasty meat, and I kind of describe the delicacies in these rations, and I will give you 12. That is 6 for you and Wilson.
He says, 6 of these is enough for me, but Kakakiala wants 10.
Oh, Kakakiala. And I kind of look at the rock. Kakakiala, as you can see by all the little rocks around him, has eaten a little too much. So, what about Kakakiala gets 8?
You can do a persuasion to negotiate with this giant lobster.
I don't want to fight. I mean, I think that...
Yeah. No, he's not fighting that right now. He's willing to accept your offer. The lobster says, very well, it has been so long since me and Kakakiala have eaten. You place it on the ground, and we will eat, and you can go.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the 4 rations off mine. Everyone else takes 3, and one other person's gonna have to take 4 off.
I'll take 4 off.
Okay, so then everyone else takes 3 off, and then I asked him, can I walk out there and place it in front of...
He nods. To let you offer him the rations.
All right, I kind of very carefully, super slow, I walk here, and I'm going to just kind of place the rations down in front of me.
After you place them down, the giant crayfish gets down and just starts munching on the rations, and then you all of a sudden notice that the boulder starts moving. Ooh. It starts turning around, and the boulder itself, you realize, is a giant. Is also a giant.
Oh, what is that?
Hermit crab.
A hermit crab.
Uh-oh.
Kakakiala turns around and starts eating his rations, and they are busy eating.
Guys, north, straight, or south? Pick something quick.
To the north? Sorry, to the east? To the right?
Up, down, or across? Up. Okay, I'm gonna slowly...
I don't know, I'm right-handed, so that's usually the direction I go first.
It does. You picked it. So I'm gonna very slowly walk across the mud. Get here and wait for Rob to do his magic.
I suppose I'll inspect this door.
You take a look at the door. This door actually swings outward, does not have any discernible handles, doesn't appear to have any mechanisms on it.
It might just be like the door we just opened.
Okay.
It just swings. It just swings open.
Let's open it.
Okay, you swing this door open, and it opens up into a large hallway. You look around this hallway, and the walls of this corridor are wet and slimy. The stucco covering has been completely saturated with water and is decomposing and sloughing off in spots.
So I'll take a look in this room for similar traps as the one before, or anything else that I can identify.
Okay, as you walk into the room, you can roll me a perception check. You don't notice any traps, but the problem is like this whole hallway looks like it's just wrecked, because you can see that the little pieces on the walls are slipping down and falling off.
Well, let's go in.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go in and see.
I'm going to stay about 10 feet behind him, but I want to give the group enough room to get in.
And do we see, like, there's lots of water on the walls and the stucco's sloughing off, but are there any signs of any other really large crustaceans?
No, not here.
People?
Not here.
Wait, is this another statue here, or is this like the other one? Is
this appears to be? It appears to be that there might be a door here, but the problem is there's a layer of scum all over the place.
Oh well.
But you see the indent of what looks like it could be a door here.
Okay, I get out of the way and let Rob know. Hey, there's a door down here.
All right. Well, I'll take a look and see. I guess I'll be scraping the crud off this door.
How are you going to scrape the crud off the door?
Let's see. What kind of crud
With the quarterstaff.
Is it like algae or whatever?
Yeah, I could use a quarterstaff. I guess I got a crowbar. Yeah, I think I would use maybe see if I could scrape it with a quarterstaff.
You use the quarterstaff and you start like scraping off some of these little stucco plates, and they just hit the floor. And you keep doing. You realize it's gonna take you a while to actually like scrape around the edges.
Yeah, and this is of the door, right? Or
yeah,
the door outline.
Yeah, you're trying to get the edges of the door. You think it's gonna take you a while because there's so much scum.
Okay, so I might also use a crowbar and see if I can enlist some help here in clearing it up.
Okay, so you start. You use both the crowbar and the quarterstaff, and you finally clear out all the scum from the outline of the door. You realize after you do that you do have an outline of a stone slab of a door, but it appears that your quarterstaff and your crowbar have been dissolved.
Oh, great!
Oh,
The crowbar is now like the edge of it is just completely like ripped off. Like you can see that acid has eaten into it. Like this stuff, you realize how this stuff on the walls is extremely volatile acid.
Okay, we make sure we don't touch the walls.
Clear
It was enough to eat the iron of your crowbar.
But we can see the door now?
Yeah, you can see the door now.
Does it hinge on the outside? Like, does it open out to the hallway or into the room?
It goes in. And this door, unlike the other door you saw, does not have any hinges. It's just a big stone slab.
So it would need to be pushed, it seems like?
Yeah.
Is the scum just on the door, or is it like along the wall all over?
It is along the wall. You did manage to scrape
the entire hole?
scum. Yeah, you scraped the scum off the door. So you think you can touch the door now without touching some of the scum. But it is everywhere. It is like, you know, on the walls, the ceiling. It's not dripping or anything, so you guys aren't getting hit with it. But you realize that.
I just want to make sure, like, if we push the door open, like, not a whole pool of acid gonna come.
Oh, you don't know that.
You don't know that. I think I would try to push the door open.
But did you check and see if it's locked?
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's any handle or anything.
No, there's no handle. It's a stone slab.
So it just,
well, there you go.
I guess it just gets pushed.
I guess that's the same thing as all the other things have been.
Yeah. So I would see if I can push it open.
The stone is about 6 foot tall. You push it, you just don't have the strength.
Okay, so
it's
I might.
3 feet wide, 6 feet tall, and you think it's pretty damn thick when you try to push against it. But you do think it moves. You think it moves in.
Yeah. Well, so I might see if John can come help, and or maybe I can help him as he pushes it.
Okay.
I might also.
I'm going to go down here beside him. Did you check and see if there's I guess pushing it? All the other doors swung open freely. That doesn't.
This thing is not like
similar to the
it's not
first
even
door.
A door. It's like a stone slab.
Yeah, so I might.
And there's a way to open this. I don't think forcing it is because this is supposed to be a tomb. That's what he said. So it has to be a tomb on the other side of it, unless our crab lied to us. I don't believe he did. So
do you want to try and open it?
Oh no, we have to open it. But what I'm saying is, you're not going to sit there and smash in the door of a tomb. And what did he say the guy's name was? He said something about him, and then.
Oh, you want to know the dude's name? The crab told you that this is the tomb of Toloquis Popolocus.
Toloquis Popolocus, yeah. So this we have to figure out the opening to this. Just like the other door, I believe this has a way to open it.
Okay, but you're saying that pushing it open would be wrong? Would be smashing it in?
I think pushing it open would be smashing. I mean, I don't know that we can, just like we couldn't push the other door open. I think that there is a way, just like the other door, to open this.
Okay.
Well, it looks like it's a door to push it that opens inward.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I can think of.
He wasn't able to do it by himself. It could be that two people can.
You think that we just pushing it?
Yeah,
that doesn't sound right to me.
Are there any markings on the door like the other door? Like,
no.
Are there any holes drilled in it? Are there any?
No, this
markings?
time there are no holes drilled in it. There's remember that thing on the other door with that lintel on the top there? That's not even there. This is just a stone slab covering a hole.
So literally, all we see is a big blank wall covered in sludge.
Yeah, but it's clear that there's clear that there's seams on it, so it's clear that this is not part of the wall.
There's seams on it. How wide are the seams?
Very narrow. They're like less than an inch.
Oh wait, less than that. That's not narrow. That's easy. Who has the devil sight?
I do. I don't know if I can see through them. Can I?
Well, and less than a half an inch, you could easily see through that.
So with a devil's sight, you look through the narrow seams. You can't see much. You see what seems to be like there is space behind this stone slab. Like you're able to push it in.
There.
Yeah, there's space behind it, and you can't tell what you're seeing. You think you see maybe some fresco on a wall or something like that.
So paintings, is that what you know? A fresco is painting?
Yeah, maybe a fresco on a wall. You know, a fresco is more like stuff carved into a wall.
Okay.
But from your narrow view, that's all you can really see out of that seam.
So I have like a little bit of like oil. I could maybe try and like grease the edges of this, and we could see if we can push it open.
Okay. I mean, if you're the expert, if you say that's the way we do it, so let's put a little bit of grease on it, and you and I push this open.
Before we do that, at the top seam or the bottom seam, specifically the bottom one by the floor, are there any notches in the stone that's acting as a door? Like somewhere where you might reach in and insert a key?
No.
Nothing. Huh.
No, not like before where there was like a lot of space and there's all this stone. This one is it's a clean seam.
Okay, well then let's try and push. I'll try and assist John. Kind of.
Okay, you and John together.
As we go.
After greasing the seams, you push against it with all your might. It rocks a little bit, but not quite enough.
Okay, so it's going to take more weight. Who's the next strongest?
Well, I've got 12 strength. I'll come lend a hand.
Olaf, don't you have better strength than that?
No, I'm 8 strength. I'm a weakling.
Oh, there you go. All right, I think all of us are going to have to put our back into it. So Olaf,
and I mean, and if there's a tiny little gap around the seam, is it a big enough gap I could wedge my crowbar in?
That's what I have a crowbar as well.
Yeah, you can probably wedge the crowbar inside there, but
just to try and help give us a little bit of mechanical advantage, maybe.
Yeah,
well, you can try crowbar because he said it pushes in. The crowbar will pull it out, right?
Well, you could use it against the outer wall.
Yeah, and
a little bit maybe.
And if you can rock it or raise it up a little bit, you can put more oil underneath it and maybe loosen it up a little.
All right, so with the oil and using the crowbar, you think you can probably give it a better try. How many of you guys are going to get on this thing? All of you?
I think
you can all fit on it, actually, if you all want to push at the same time.
Sure.
LD will help too, with his 6 strength.
His 6 strength. Jesus. He's even strong enough to lift his head.
6 strength is about how a real person in real life probably would have, unless you're a bodybuilder.
Probably, yeah.
All right, you guys are able to kind of to with all of everybody pushing at the exact same time with all of your strength. You're able to move it a little bit where there's enough of a gap to squeeze through. You're not able to really push it in. So there's a tiny gap that you guys have created that you can squeeze through.
Okay. Well,
and you look inside, and there it is a small foyer holding 3 sealed urns on the east and west sides. Directly ahead of you, to the south or to the right, there are double doors carved out of bronze. There's glyphs worked into their faces. And the glyphs appear to be, a lot of ancient scribbles.
Okay. Well, I would look around for any traps or anything as I enter.
If we let go of the door, is it going to come back to us, or is it?
No, the door's a big slab of stone. It doesn't turn or anything. You guys just managed to really muscle your way into this place.
Yeah, so I guess I would look around for traps and then inspect the room.
You look around the room. You don't see any. You don't find anything you think is a trap. You look at these urns, and some of these urns appear to be they're sealed with beeswax.
I think I might call John in here, the master of the living and the dead, and see what he thinks. If we should be messing around with maybe tombs or. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm worried
I'm
that
sitting there talking. Sorry, guys. We knew this was a tomb, so I think the urns filled with beeswax is actually, or sealed with beeswax is something that we do even in our time. They often, when they bury the rich and famous, they do those things.
All right. Well, should we leave the beam? We should check inside the urns.
I don't know. I think that I don't know. I don't know what would be in the urns, honestly.
Yeah.
We could try that. I think we should leave the urns for now and check out the tomb, and then if we're still living and able, then we can check out the urns.
Right. I like that.
Okay, so before you is this double door, as we mentioned before, full of these glyphs in this scribbled writing.
And does the door look locked?
The door does not have a lock. It's just something that swings in.
Okay, so easy to open.
Can I look at these glyphs and see if I recognize?
Yeah, let's check the glyphs out before we open it.
You take out the knowledge ring, and the glyphs do read in ancient Mazdagan. Here lies Topas Palapagas, master of the others, who is like the wind and the night.
Master of the others.
Yeah, I mean, clearly you broke into somebody's tomb. It's just...
I wonder, would this be maybe the pantalooned guy that we saw the statues of?
I think we need to go in here and find out.
Yeah, you wouldn't know, but that pantaloon guy looked like he would have a Faerunian name.
Right, but I think this the others are the chalks or whatever they're called.
Oh, could be.
So, all right, let's get in this place. You've checked out the door. It's all good.
Yeah, about as good as I can tell. So I'll go ahead and open it.
Did you check out the doors?
Hold on. Yeah, then let's clear this. Let's clear this room. And he'll open it, because I know that I will not. I have not been very successful with
great
passing traps.
That's great. That's great, guys.
All right. Good luck.
So I'll give the door one last inspection. I maybe would have grabbed a quarterstaff from Cayenne. So I'll look the door over for traps, and then I think I might try and kind of stand to the side and push it open.
Using a quarterstaff or the 8th staff, not the one that melted?
I think I probably need a quarterstaff. I probably need 5 feet.
Yeah, I would have handed him a new one.
Okay, so give me an investigation check. You put your quarterstaff kind of around the seams of the door. The quarterstaff stops somewhere, like clinks on something, and then you kind of look in it, and what you think is going on is that this door is trapped. There is a glass rod, a hollow glass rod with what appears to be a bluish liquid inside, and you think that when the door is opened, this glass rod breaks and the liquid is released. And that's how you think the trap's going to work.
Think that's how the trap's going to work?
Yeah, you're pretty sure, because you're kind of looking at this, and this is clearly a trapped.
So it doesn't look like there's any way to kind of like disarm it.
Well, you tell me how you like to do so. So what happens is like there is a glass rod directly on the other side of the door. It is full with liquid. The minute you open the door, the rod cracks and something's released.
Right. So then the doors push in. That's what happens.
Yeah, that's the whole idea of the trap.
So the doors can't push out, can they?
No, the hinges are on the other side of the door.
Is there like? Can I see the glass rod like through the cracks?
Yes, you actually see it. That's how you're able to figure out it's a trap.
Yeah, so maybe what I would try and do is, I think I might try and maybe wedge my dagger kind of near the glass rod. I'm kind of thinking I want Cayenne to maybe shoot it with his crossbow, and we can all just kind of back out of here, and he can maybe. Does that make sense? If you can shoot the crack in the door?
Because how big of a gap? It would have to be like a 7-8 inch gap for me to shoot through.
Well, I mean, how big is your crossbow bolt? It's maybe 1 inch.
Probably an inch and a half, 2 inches wide or diameter, right? Like
yeah. So I mean, so if you can shoot right in between these two doors, right, they're not open, but there's a crack between them, then you might hit this glass
does
rod.
this glass rod block both doors?
I think it's set up to where
when the doors. It's in between the doors.
Yeah, when both doors open.
Or horizontal?
What about if we I tried to cast a sacred flame or a bonfire and try to just cook it, and if it does break, it'll burn off whatever that liquid is?
Yeah, maybe we just need a way to crack the doors. I mean,
I'm sorry, I don't understand how this glass rod is positioned.
So just think of essentially two doors where there's a glass tube behind them. When the two doors open, they're gonna push up against this glass rod and they're gonna crack it. Like when people lock double doors and they put something between the door handles.
Yeah, okay, no, I get you, but the gap is big enough that you can see this thing.
Yeah, so maybe an inch wide gap, John.
Yeah.
So maybe, so I guess maybe what I might do is I feel like I
move the rod.
You can't manipulate. I mean, you can try to manipulate the rod through the door with something if you really wanted to. You don't know what is in this liquid. It's like a bluish kind of liquid. Clearly, some sort of magical something in there.
So maybe
a trap.
Maybe what I would try and do then is I would take. So I've got my rope. Maybe I would try and feed the rope, between the crack in the door and around this glass rod, so I can kind of loop it around there and then see if I can take the rope outside the room and just kind of pull on it to snap it. Does that make sense? Kind of like.
Yeah, I know you're trying to break the rod on purpose by putting the rope around it. You can do that.
Right. So I might try and do that and see if I can, wrap it around that rod and then feed the rope through to where I've got both ends of the rope outside and just give it a good yank.
Okay, so you wind the rope around it. You manage to catch the other end of the rope. You get out there. You're gonna yank this rope.
Mm-hmm.
If when cracking it, it's just smoke starts to come out, I want to try to cast a great bonfire right there to try to burn off any of this. If it's like a smoke or something like that, try to burn it off.
You crack the glass rod, and a massive cloud of blue smoke starts expanding. You guys want to stay there? It just starts expanding, bigger and bigger and bigger.
I mean, I'm not in there. I'm like,
no, you're not in there right now. But you guys see this cloud of smoke begin.
Is it coming this way?
Yeah.
All right, wait, I guess I just don't understand why we would intentionally set the trap off.
Yeah,
Too late.
Well, what were the other options?
But never intentionally set a trap off. That just.
LD just runs the hell out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to run out too. I don't know why we. That's just kind of bizarre.
So we had to set the trap off. So I guess the options are, for me, I try and set the trap. I try and disarm the trap and possibly die, or we set the trap off and. I mean, it looked like it was some kind of liquid, so maybe like a big cloud, or it freezes the area. But I don't think
so. This blue cloud, you're not sure what it does because you're staying clear of it.
Of course.
Just kind of wafts out and just stays there, lingering in the air, not going away. It stays there. You guys watch it for like 2 minutes. It just stays there. It doesn't disperse. It just stays there.
Well, I guess this room is kind of dead. Hopefully, there was nothing important in this room. I still think disarming it,
yeah,
you would have had a chance to disarm it. And if it would have failed and something happened, I mean, we do have the ability to heal you and get you out.
Well, but we have magical options.
Right. Well. I just think of we could have put a mage hand.
I'm not going to tell you what would have happened if you got stuck in this cloud, but listen, this is a Gary Gygax style module. He will
There's
bypass
just a
all
lot
the
of
rules you think you
traps.
got. Yeah.
It just seems like there's a lot of traps in this module.
Oh
but
yeah.
I don't
and
think
from
it's
what
ever
you
good
said,
to just disarm the trap for. I mean, I don't know. I guess at that doesn't matter. Unless
I mean, that said, it probably would have been next to impossible to disarm if it's on the other side of.
Well, but what I'm saying is, we
gap.
had Mage Hand though. I think Mage Hand couldn't. I mean, I don't know how big. You said how did what was it in? Some kind of bottle, right?
It was all you could see was a glass rod with liquid in it.
Well, it was a rod, so Mage Hand could definitely have picked it up and moved it.
Well, it can't get back there. There's like a 1-inch gap to see. All you can see is that you can just see the crack of it behind there.
But I could create Mage Hand on the other side.
Mage Hand doesn't have an actual shape. It's kind of Vorpal, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Either way,
so we could have squeezed it. It doesn't matter. I mean, at this point, we're not going in there. So we have let's come back down here. Guys, we need to come back down here because I looked at that. Looked like the steps was completely blocked. We're not going to outweight that cloud. He said that it. So
from what when you look at this cloud, you realize that it simply is not going away. It doesn't act like a normal dust cloud. It just lingers there like with some sort of magical energy. You don't really know what would happen if you actually got into the cloud.
Let's not. Let's just come on down here, guys, and shut this door.
Well, but well,
I'm reading what would happen if you got into the cloud, and I'm just like shaking.
But I guess that to me is like the irony is like our choices were me go into the cloud or me kind of risk my character going into the cloud, but now we know what it is, but no one will go in it. So it's okay if I want to try and disarm it and break it, and I'm the one in there. But now that we know that it's there, none of us.
Well, we always knew it was there. I mean, it was obviously a trap. So I just think that we had a chance to disarm it or remove it. I do think the Mage Hand could have picked up the vial and moved it. But honestly, at this point, it doesn't really matter. I think we all get in here and we shut that door. I mean, that is just a done thing.
Does anybody want to risk it?
I mean, I suppose so. I mean, I'm the rogue, right? So
no.
You're telling me this is my job.
No, it's done now. We don't go in the cloud. Nobody go in the cloud.
I'm going in this cloud.
No. Hold on, all right, we're gonna grab his little butt and bring him out here.
I mean,
before you do, I'm gonna light one of my torches.
Yeah.
Guys, I just disagree with this. I think we just need to.
I'm not going in the cloud. I'm just going to pitch my torch into the room.
The cloud itself is not flammable, but when you throw in your torch, the color of the flame turns blue. And there's these magical sparkles coming out of the flame.
The torch itself doesn't go out.
No, the torch doesn't go out. The fire itself is not flammable. The cloud itself is not flammable. But the color of the fire of the torch turns blue, and these magical sparkles start coming out of it. Olaf, roll a Narcotic check on what's going on here. As you see Kayan throwing a torch.
So it doesn't. There's still oxygen in there because the fire's still burning.
Blue, it means it's all oxygen.
Olaf, you look at some of these sparkles and you recognize that some of these sparkles are similar to the sparkles that show up when you cast a sleep spell.
I don't know how to cast sleep spells. So
well, you would know enough about magic that when a sleep spell is cast, little dazzling like little stars fall. Some of these sparkles look like that.
Guys,
But this is a lot more powerful.
Right, I disagree. I mean, there's nothing in there. We haven't even started the exploring this trap pit yet. I mean, we can't
lose gray area now.
Yeah,
it's going to be a splinter in my mind. I'm willing
let's
to put
look
in
around,
a
and then
This is another part of this Gary Gygax style modules. They just tease you.
Yeah.
With like, what's behind that door? Oh man, do I go? Do I do it? Do I die?
All right. What about this, guys? What about let's explore the rest and we can come back. We can't lose. We can't lose Rob Shore right now.
Okay,
I mean,
hold
he's the
on.
only one that can find these thinking traps.
The poison gas is just smelling acrid right now. You feel like pretty soon you might have to roll another Constitution.
Yeah, we have to go, guys.
1 second.
Oh my God. We don't have 1 second. What are you
I'm
doing?
going to tie my rope around my waist and hand one end to Rob Shore.
Oh my God! Don't do it. Okay,
freaking
don't
pirates.
do it.
Are you sure?
Pirates are greedy.
A big deep breath.
Oh my God! Don't do it.
Before I do, I'm going to quaff my potion of antitoxin.
Now, what does that protect you against? Poison?
Poison.
It gives me advantage on saving throws against poison for 1 hour.
Yep.
Okay, you know what? I will. In that case, because you quaffed that anti-potion, because of the way they describe this trap. Okay.
So I quaff this. I hand Rob Shore and I'm like, okay, buddy, I think I got this, and I'm just going to take a big deep breath, and I want to dash in and slam into the door and try and heave it open, and then immediately turn around and run back out.
Wait, it's open in towards us, right?
No, it opens inward, but you already activated the trap on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just essentially want to try and fling the doors open to see if specifically Olaf would be able to see in there.
Right, but what if there's a bunch of treasure in there?
Exactly.
And we're
right.
And we're going.
No,
we're definitely going.
So here we go.
God, I disagree.
I'm gonna dash, and I'm 5, 10, 15.
Give me a Constitution saving throw with your advantage.
Oh,
I,
shit,
I
right
will allow
away.
you the poison antitoxin event as you go into the cloud. Doesn't matter if you breathe it or not.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You stave off this is some sort of extremely powerful magical poison. You don't know what it would have done to you, but you managed to stave it off as you run in and bam, smack these doors open.
Oh, they do open. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to immediately turn around and run back. Because I dashed.
And you can feel like your arms and legs were getting numb a little bit while you were in there, but the antitoxin you drank did manage to allow you to survive that, whatever that was.
Do we see the remains of where this poison gas is coming from?
It is everywhere. It is throughout the entire chamber beyond that you opened. It is everywhere in there. Like, you cannot escape it if you were to go in there. So you look inside this room, and it indeed is what appears to be a tomb.
And does opening the doors flood the area with, like, change the air pressure in any way? Like,
it does, but the cloud
smoke?
does not change. The cloud just stays there. The cloud does not move. But you can see inside this room now. Beyond is you have that small foyer, and behind the doors is a chamber cut out of the rock, veil of calcite and stalactites covering the walls.
Huh.
Buttresses. I don't know why this guy loves the word buttresses. Buttresses rise from the corners, brown shot with black, and triangular stone pillars, as you can see, support the high ceiling. In the center of the chamber is a colossal monument resembling a giant's table, covered on all sides with intricate carvings and glyphs. You're too far away to actually read any. Engraved on the floor in front of the entrance is a seal that displays more glyphs. On the opposite end of the entrance, there appears to be a battle axe stuck inside the wall.
And where is this battle axe? Sorry?
He said it's on the opposite side of the room.
So okay, so completely the other side of this giant table. Olaf, can you see anything on the table? The picture sort of makes it look like there might be glyphs or runes of some kind.
Olaf, give me a perception check. Olaf, when you look around and you get the right angle on this battle axe, you look all the way from the edge, and you realize that the battle axe is a blade made out of bronze, and the haft is wound with snakeskin wrappings. The weapon is shimmering some sort of magic, but this weapon is casting an ominous shadow in the shape of what appears to be an arm against the wall.
I relate it to the guys, and I'm like,
yeah, this is
I don't know if we really want that, guys.
I don't know. I mean, it's a magical battle axe. I mean, but considering what you're gonna have to go through to get that thing.
Here's the thing, guys, and my vote is still leave the chamber and let's explore everything else. But I mean, we kind of can look and see this. We will be able to hold our breath and run completely through this fog cloud.
Oh, you realize that holding your breath doesn't matter once you enter the cloud. Kayan tells you.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah,
I
held my breath, and I still.
Yeah, Kayan tells you that
it's
just the cloud itself is of a magical nature. Is some sort of trap. Kayan says that his arms and legs just felt weak as he was.
And it's not dissipating at all, because it's got to have been like 5 or 10 minutes now.
Yeah, this cloud stays here.
Yeah, I mean, so I do have
permanent.
Right, I do have 2 antitoxin vials, and I do have protection from poison. I don't think this is the right move. I really think we should go, and we can come back here. I'm not saying, throw this away forever, but I'm just saying, let's come back.
All right.
You guys
maybe in time it will dissipate, this cloud.
Yeah, I mean, maybe give it a little bit of time. I wish we had a gust spell or something.
Yeah.
Prestidigitation.
No, that's just a cleaning spell. All right, guys. Do we want to the left or to below?
The the crustaceans are still busy eating your rations.
Yeah, I want to hurry up and make our decision before they finish. So we know below he said it's acid water, so I would imagine it's still the same. It's kind of the same thing as above.
Yeah.
And he said he had no idea what's on the steps.
He said he didn't know it was down the steps?
No, he said he'd never been there. Am I remembering it right?
Yeah, he doesn't get out much. He said he was never there.
All right, so
acidic water to the.
So as you look at the steps, the landing at the front of a short flight of steps is filled with mud and silt that partially blocks the door leading to the north, which is to the left. The door is actually meant to open inward because you look at the hinges, and the problem is the whole area is just full of mud.
Right. Are we able to open that door, or?
Station to clean the mud.
The crustaceans are busy eating, unless you want to disturb them.
Nope.
No, I said prestidigitation to try to clean it.
No, this is like 1,000 pounds of mud.
Oh, 1,000 pounds of mud. That's
this drops down 10 feet, and you realize that you're almost completely covered when you go down there, but you can still see the top of the door.
Yeah, well, let's go down here. I mean, well, it doesn't. I mean, if it's that much, that's not an option. So let's go down here and let's check this. Let's check this for traps.
You check it. It's another door that opens outward. You do not think that there's any mechanisms or locks or traps. It's just a kind of a door that swings open.
Okay, but we do know that there's acid water in this room.
Yeah, he said something about the lobster told you that this leads to the courses of the gods, whatever that means.
Right. So, Rob's door good to open or not?
I don't know. This one down. I guess this is what, west?
North.
It's actually west. North is to the
west
left.
down here?
Yeah, I know.
Down.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
you feel disoriented yet?
Yeah. So, all right.
You
so,
easily open this door. It's not locked or anything, and it opens down
don't touch the water.
Well, you don't see any water immediately, but you do see that it opens up to a narrow hallway with stairs leading down.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, so I would proceed cautiously, maybe looking for traps and pressure plates.
All right, and I'm staying 10 feet behind him as always.
Now you get to, at the end of this hallway, you get to another door. And you can hear a little bit of splashing on the other side, like a little bit of dripping and splashing.
Does the door look like? Does it look like it's like watertight? Like if I were to open it?
No, the door looks like it could be opened.
Okay, but it doesn't look like it's like holding back a bunch of water.
No.
Okay, so I'll investigate it, see if I think there's anything unnatural about this door.
You see that on the.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you see that on the bottom. You don't find anything you think is a trap on the door, but you see what's on the bottom of the door. It is sealed tight, but the top of the door, like the bottom, like 1 foot of the door is sealed tight to the floor, but the around the other edges, it doesn't seem that well sealed. The door also pushes open into the room.
Okay. So, I guess like what Kyan was saying, does it sound like running water or?
It sounds like lapping water, not running.
Against the door?
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and open it.
As you open the door, some water starts streaming in towards your feet.
Okay, I'll definitely jump up on this stair.
The door opens, and the lower level just fills with about an inch of water. You can look into the room beyond a little bit. The room appears like it's, there's water. There's about an inch of water over the floor of the entire room. The walls themselves seem slippery and wet with white buildup.
All right.
So
And you think there's a couple of pedestals inside this room that have been overturned.
Yeah, I think I would test the water. I think I might throw the rest of that quarter stick in the water and see if it is acidic water.
The quarterstaff does not dissolve like it did with the stuff to the north.
Well, if it's only 1 inch thick, I mean, our boots should protect us long enough to get to the other door and get out.
If you open it versus in water.
And then we can, I know we all are carrying water skins. I mean, I can use the water skins. We'll clean our boots up. What do you think? My only problem is there's so many freaking traps on the doors. Because I would go through first, but the other door is probably trapped.
Do we know there is another door in here?
That looks like a door to me. I mean, is that a door?
Oh, yeah, no, never mind. I see it. Yeah, my little mouse cursor is showing me.
Yeah, and what did you say, John? You said there were pedestals on the ground.
Okay, so if you kind of approach closer and you carefully step in this water, without like splashing on yourself, obviously, because you guys are already now very much aware of how this water could be kind of deadly. You look into the room, and the room looks like there used to be a lot of pedestals and things like that in here, but they have all been overturned and thrown on the ground. And there's mud in this room. The mud is natural. It seems to be coming in from some sort of from this temple falling apart and dirt and cave in.
Is there any way we can make our way on the pedestals over to the next door, or
no? There's only a couple scattered pedestals. You can't like jump on the pedestals there. So there is a door on the opposite end of this chamber. There is in the northwest corner, as you move in a little bit further, you notice that there is still one pedestal standing. On the pedestal, you see a small metallic three-sided pyramid.
Huh. So, Rob, do you want to go look at that pyramid? I'm going to go check the door. I think if we go slow and only two at a time, I think we'll be fine. We cannot splash this stuff, though. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
All right.
So yeah, I think we kind of not really wade in, but kind of tiptoe in.
Perception check as you.
Sorry,
the pedestal is actually right here. I know it's not drawn in, but it's right here. So the minute you walk in here, give me a perception check. You see a dark, wet mass clinging to the wall above the western door, the door down here.
Oh my God! Does it look like an ooze? We have fought an ooze before.
You can't tell if it's an ooze because it's not moving. It doesn't seem like oozes move and will attack you. This thing is just there. It's a big black blotch. Rob, sure, you go up to the pedestal. It is a beautiful looking golden pyramid, and it looks heavy.
And let's see, about how heavy?
You think about 10 pounds.
10 pounds of gold? Dang.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
He can pick up 10 pounds.
I can pick up 10 pounds, but I'm worried it's maybe on some kind of pressure plate.
Well, do an Indiana Jones.
yeah, that's why I asked how much it weighs.
Well, you wouldn't know, but you estimate about 10 pounds, because you wouldn't know unless you picked it up, of course. But you estimate it's about 10 pounds of solid gold. That's what it looks like. I mean, this thing's worth a fortune right there. You guys can take this thing and retire.
Yeah, so let's see. So I would inspect this pedestal to see if I saw like any kind of moving parts or mechanisms.
Okay, you take a careful look at the pedestal. You look around it. Roll me an investigation. You don't find any moving parts or any evidence of traps.
Trust my investigation. I think what I'm going to try and do is maybe take some of my pitons and my busted up crowbar, and like see if I can do the old switcherooski, and grab this 10-pound chunk of gold.
Okay, so you're going to estimate about 10 pounds of stuff you're going to put on it instead of the gold?
Yeah. I mean, if that's what I think it weighs.
Okay. So you put 10 pounds worth. You take 10 pounds worth of junk, and you do a quick switch, and you have this golden pyramid in your hand. It is a solid block, 10 pounds of gold. This thing is worth thousands.
Sweet.
Now you have a bunch of stuff sitting on that pedestal.
Okay, I'll leave that there. And I guess keep my eye on this. This
you have
ooze.
a 7,000 gold. You have a piece of solid gold worth 7,000.
Oof. Wow.
Nice.
Okay, so I've been looking at this black slime. It's not moving at all.
Nope. You can do a nature check on it. Hold on, and let me do a party sheet.
All right, yeah, I'm definitely doing a nature check. I mean, I don't really have an advantage on it, but...
There we go. I'm putting this in the party sheet.
You're
not really sure what this thing is.
Is it blocking the door?
It's like mixed in. It's part of the door. Like part of it is on the door, part of it is on the wall.
So we're going to have to.
Yeah, it's not necessarily blocking the door. It's just that it's part of it is occupying the door.
So we need to, if we can open the door, I just say we go through. But we can't stand in this acid very long. Rob, what do you think?
I don't know. I think we just need to maybe, I don't know, kill that thing, poke it.
Well, he said it wasn't a slime.
Okay.
He just
could be something else. It's not an ooze like we've seen before.
Well, it's not attacking you. Before, when you guys encountered the ooze, immediately attacked you. This thing is just a black mass. It looks like it could be an ooze, but it's not doing anything. It's just sitting there.
Does it have like?
But it is covering the door, so we can't do anything until
part of it is on the door. Part of it is on the wall. It's like mixed in.
Okay.
I think we should just try to open it.
All right.
And get out of here. This acid's going to kill us.
How are you going to open the door?
Well, I guess I'm going to inspect it and see. Yeah, we can try that, but just kind of see what it looks like. Is there a door handle?
There's no door handle. It's like the other doors. It just kind of pushes. It kind of opens in. So there's no door handle, but you can probably grab the edge of it and pull it. There's enough on the edge where you can grab onto.
Okay. So yeah, maybe we'll see if Olaf's mage hand can open it.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the door is heavier than the mage hand can handle.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to just do it, and you guys pull me out. I'm going to go down there and I'm push the door open.
So the door doesn't push open; it actually pulls in.
Oh, then I'm going to pull it in.
So you realize that if you were to pull it, you have to put your fingers into that black stuff.
Oh, not good. Oh wait, no. I get my crowbar, and I kind of put it in the gaps, and I'll kind of pop it open that way.
Okay, you put your crowbar in. You're able to. The door is kind of sealed, pretty tight, but with a lot of muscle, you're able to wedge the door out. And the minute you do that, the water starts pouring out of the room. Your crowbar dissolves.
Well,
it doesn't break. Out. It's just the part that you use to touch the that black stuff is worn off. It's no longer sharp. It's like a stub.
But so we popped open the door and all the water gushed out?
Yeah, the water's slowly kind of streaming out.
Oh, well then I go through. I go through the door. If it's open.
I'm trying to open this door. It's not letting me open the door. Why is it doing that? Oh, come on. Do I have to take...
I think it's your arrow is blocking it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll move the arrow.
There we go.
All right. I, again, stay out of there. So I'll wait for Rob to do his
So
thing.
you guys, several thousand gold richer in that room for...
If we make it out alive.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that... All I hope is that 7,000 gold is enough to cause him to forget that freaking tomb.
that magical axe is so alluring. I don't know.
No, I wouldn't even use that axe. It's just we got to get in there.
Greedy.
Well, it's not even that. I think it's feeling like I made a mistake in my approach.
Oh.
Also, yeah, it's also Gary Gygax laughing at you right now from his grave.
Yeah.
Gary Gygax love doing this stuff. He just he just makes you he tempts you with treasure, and you have to decide, is it worth risking my character or not, kind of thing. He loves making you make that decision. All right, so you go into this now you're into this new hallway.
Okay.
The walls and ceiling of this hallway once again are covered in slime. And the floor has a layer of mud. Now there's water kind of streaming through the floor. And the floor is sloped down, so you notice the water is kind of making a turn and heading north.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, you look at the stucco on the walls and it's flaking off, and you recognize that there's more of this caustic, acidic stuff on the walls that's very dangerous and killed that quarterstaff and crowbar from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Along the east, which is the upward direction, along the east wall of the passage, stands a 12-foot tall stone statue of a man outfitted with fine clothing and holding a stone tray in his raised arms. The statue's eyes appear to be black gemstones. On the statue's cheek, from behind the left shoulder, protrudes the hilt of what appears to be a weapon. You can't tell what kind of weapon is, just the hilt of it. Probably a sword, you think, just from
looks
looking
like
at
a sword from that picture.
The stone tray, as well as the forehead and the nose of the statue, are chipped and scratched. Well, this statue is pretty tall. You have to probably climb up to it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it looks like it's perfect height for a halfling to stand on that.
Yeah. So what? I guess you said it looks like, what's in its eyes?
It looks like gems or something. That picture looks like something.
And this is a 12-foot tall statue. Rob Shore, I would like you to roll me you may use your investigation, intelligence-based, and make some deduction about this statue.
I think that's intelligence.
Ooh, now you can't quite make what is going on with this statue, but you realize that there's something off about the statue. I mean, there's some scratches and stuff on the on that table and statue's face.
Do the scratches look like some tomb robber?
Does it look like the picture?
Time?
Yeah, the picture is a picture of it.
No, I mean, but that's what the scratches look like, because it's on his nose, his cheek, across his eye.
Yeah, but you can't make out what has possibly caused these scratches.
And they're definitely scratches, not cracks, like, because you can tell there's some cracks.
No, they're not cracks. They're scratches, like they were marked. Like if you take your sword and start bang, 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 banging the statue, it looks something like that.
So I think I would look around and kind of realize maybe this is part of a trap where.
Of course, it's part of a trap.
You know, something comes out from the opposite wall, or something comes out from the side wall, and just kind of like whacks.
I think the statue comes alive.
You can roll a perception check all around the statue.
I'm gonna have my sword, or I don't have my sword. I have Shatter Spike, so I'm gonna have my sword ready.
You don't see anything around the statue that you believe could be involved in any sort of trap.
Great. Okay.
The thing that is holding in his hand, is it off the side of the pyramid statue?
What do you mean?
It's
holding like a flat slab.
It's a flat slab, it's like the base. It's a flat slab about the size of the base of the gold pyramid that we just picked up.
Oh, it's bigger than that.
It's bigger than that.
There's no writing on it?
No, there's no writing or anything here.
So I might try and take this quarterstaff and kind of poke around on the statue, poke the eyes and put some pressure on it.
Can you reach the statue's eyes with your quarterstaff? The statue is 12 feet high.
I'm 4.5 or something.
Quarterstaff's 8, so he would be, if he got right in front of it, he would be right there at it probably.
Maybe could barely.
So you start poking at the statue. You poke at its face and its eyes. You poke it, and one of the gemstones from the eyes falls down, clanks right on that flat slab.
Oh boy.
Nothing happens though. It just that thing falls down.
Okay, so I might.
Ethan goes and grabs it.
Yeah, I might look at Olaf and see if he can do that.
Yeah.
Mage hand goes and picks up the stone that just fell off, or the eye that just fell out.
The mage hand picks up that stone and brings it to you. It is a precious gem. It is an obsidian, very finely carved, probably worth a good 150 gold. It doesn't appear to do anything magical. It's just a very fancy gem.
Yeah, so I'm curious.
Is that sword like really big, like same size as the statue?
No. The sword is actually like the size that you could carry and use if you wanted to.
All right, maybe we'll inspect that. So I think I'm going to climb up on this statue and take a closer look.
Okay, you climb. Give me a. You may use strength or athletics on your climb.
Well, I mean, I could pick him up there. If it's a difficult climb, I'll just pick him up and put him on.
You may do it with advantage, and with John just trying to pick you up and throw you up there, I guess.
Well, I'm not gonna throw him. I'm helping him climb up.
Nobody tosses a halfling or a dwarf.
Yeah.
No, people toss halflings all the time, but dwarves.
All right. You have no problem climbing on top of the statue. Now you're standing on top of this stone slab. I need a dexterity saving throw. The minute you get on top.
Hold on, that's not a save.
I can roll it for you.
No, I just grabbed the dex check, I guess, instead of the save.
What did you roll? Let me see.
Cheyenne, you're not saying anything, are you? Or
26. Okay.
We don't hear you.
Cheyenne said the splashing sound like running water, or no, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I know. Okay. I was just making sure you weren't muted or something like that.
Rob, you are too nimble. The statue falls forward and crashes on the ground and smashes to a million pieces. But you are too nimble to be crushed underneath the statue. You do a cartwheel out of it, and you do not take any bludgeoning damage as the statue crashes down and breaks.
Oh, great job, Rob. There you go.
Nice.
Let's find that other eye, though.
Yeah,
so you grab the other eye, which is the same thing as the previous eye. It is a very precious gem. You take out the sword, and there's a magical shimmer on the sword.
Oh, good.
Well, should we identify it? Don't you use a longsword though, John?
I have a magical longsword now.
Okay.
And I think we should wait until we take a breather to identify, because we only have that a couple times.
Yeah, you have. I believe you have 3 with the rod of identify.
Right.
If you give me 10 minutes, I could identify it.
Okay.
Oh, do you want to do the 10-minute identify ritual, because you guys are...
Not right now. I think we're going to hold on to the sword and do it when we get...
Because I am recording time in terms of this poison gas you guys are breathing in constantly.
Right. Well, no, we're getting out of here. Let's just get out.
Wait, are we getting out, or are we going through these doors?
And actually, we only have 2 identifiers, not 3. But no, we're going through those doors. That's what I mean. But we're getting out of. We're trying to get out of this poison gas. I mean, we don't have a way out yet.
Yeah, that's right.
As far as you know, everywhere you've been has been continuous poison gas. You have no idea where the end of this poison gas is, but you realize that you are just trapped in this poison gas at this point. You think that if you were to try to rest, you would breathe in so much poison gas that you would likely pass away.
Yeah. All right. Let's get out of here.
So I'll check this door and see if it looks like it has any traps on it.
The door does not appear to have any traps. It opens outward into away from you.
Okay, so go ahead and open it.
Okay, you open this door, and this door leads into This room, huge, with a pool in the center, is the door itself is made of bronze or tinted blue. Just inside the doorway, once you open the doors, there are 2 small alcoves. Each space contains an old fountain, cracked and crusted with lime. Around the fountain, in the eastern alcove, east being up, there's a heap of what looks like just junk and garbage on the floor. The fountain on the western alcove has some green, scummy film inside the water. When you stare at it for long enough, you think that something is moving in that water on the fountain to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How deep is the water?
So a short hall ends in descending steps that leads to the central chamber, which is completely flooded. A dark, foul pool covers the entire floor. So this is a central hall flanked by narrow aisles. And and there are 2 rows of massive square columns. You guys can see those squares. The walls are coated with slime, and there are glowing silver lines etched across them. From what you can see of the chamber's walls, the stone appears to be crudely worked. Right in the middle of this chamber, there are 2 corroded bronze braziers. They stand right there in the middle of the pool. There are 2 broken urns, each apparently once about 4 feet tall, poke up out of the water. In the darkness on the eastern wall appears to be a growth of an overall greenish hue that gives off the same silvery gleam as the slime trails. That's a lot to take in. But just to kind of summarize, you guys are in this room. It's a massive room. There are 2 alcoves, one to the east and one to the west. The one to the west or down is full of this green stuff, this thin green film, and there seems to be something moving around in there. The one to the east is full of rubbish laying all over it. In the center of this room, there's a huge brazier, and there's 2 urns popping out of the water.
Let's see.
Do we see
you look around the walls, and the walls are, once again, you know that peeling stucco, that lime stuff is there. So you know that stuff is acidic.
Do we investigate the living stuff down below, or the rubbish area, guys?
Yeah, we can go over there and see what's in there. I think we should keep an eye on this.
Or the brazier?
Pedestal.
Should we set it on fire?
Which one of these alcoves are you interested in? The one to the one to the east or the west? This one or this one?
We want to go up or down, guys?
Or do you want to? Are you interested in something in the center of the room?
Let's just look at those first. Let's look at the one on the east.
Oh, I'm sitting here talking again. Let's go to the one up first, because the one down, he said that there was creatures.
Something living in
something
it, yeah.
moving in
Yeah, there's something moving around in there. You can't see it because it's a thin layer of slime and algae. But you see beneath the layer there's some motion in it.
Yeah, so let's check the one up top first.
I guess comes over here and does an investigation of the room a little bit more.
So you look at that area and you look at that water. The water seems like it's a little bit cloudy. You look in the bottom of the water, and with whatever light source you bring in, something seems to shimmer back at you. So you think there's something in there.
Can I use Mage Hand to try to go down and grab it?
Roll me a perception before you do that. Roll it with disadvantage.
No.
Because you are casting Mage Hand, trying to get that little glistening jewel.
I just rolled 1, so let me just roll again.
John, roll initiative. We'll keep the same initiative for everybody.
Oh, okay. Give me a second.
Olaf, you were not paying attention trying to Mage Hand that glimmering thing in the bottom of the pool when very suddenly, out of the rubble and the garbage, a swarm of rats runs out and attacks you.
What?
Uh-oh.
Swarm of rats.
Oh my goodness, this it doesn't even have the scripts in it. Why is it like this? Okay, here we go. So a whole bunch of rats just kind of jump on top of you, biting and... Where's my... My thing disappeared. I'm sorry. I'm having technical difficulties because my thing disappeared. I have too many windows open and I'm digging around for... Where did it go? Yeah, my little bar, that says advantage and all that thing just disappeared. I don't know where it went. So there's another way I can do that.
Didn't that happen last time, didn't it?
Yeah, I do not know why that would happen. Well, the thing is, the problem is that thing is an extension. It's not officially part of Fantasy Grounds. So sometimes it goes awry for no reason. All right, this is what I'm just gonna roll twice. I'll just roll twice, and we'll take the higher. That's a miss. That is a hit. So Olaf, you take 7 piercing damage as these rats begin to swarm you. Now we do a Constitution saving throw. Oof. You're not sure what happened, but these rats have just bit you over and over and over again. We're going top of initiative, and it's LD. LD, being a cat, jumps right in front, looks at the rats, and begins meowing. Meow, meow. Doing his special move. Oh, the rats save against LD's distraction move. Rob, sure, you're up. You notice that this is not just one rat. This is a big swarm of rats that's just been jumped on Olaf. You can still attack them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I will come over here and see if I can attack them. That's a little too far, but...
They are subject to sneak attack.
Okay.
So unlike the swarm of fish, there's enough of them where you can eventually kill them off. But there's so many. There's like 20 of them.
Okay.
Big swarm on Olaf.
Well, I will attack with my short sword.
If you roll a... Oh, you can't roll a 1. You're halfling. Oh, okay.
Well, I can roll 2 ones in a row, I think.
That would be bad.
Yeah, don't tempt him.
Don't tempt me.
You realize that these rats have some sort of resistance to damage.
Boy. Okay, so I will attack them again with my offhand dagger. Or I guess my offhand short sword.
They're not hard to hit. There's just so many of them. Just swinging blindly will hit something. But you realize in dismay that these rats actually have a lot of resistance. Because they're just a massive swarm. It's like a big swarm acting as its own organic creature.
Okay.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right, I'll just put you here to make you 5 feet. Olaf, you're up. Swarm of rats on top of you.
Swarm of rats on top of me. I go and cast Shillelagh on my spoon and just try to beat these rats off of me. And
that's a hit. Even your magical shillelagh, the rats are resistant to it. It's just the nature of the damage. Because they move in like this one big mass. Like the most injured rat will be the one that just moves up in front, and that one just lets itself die.
On my turn.
Okay, Kayan.
Hearing the commotion from around the corner, I will step around the corner, and it shows the swarm on the other side of Olaf and Rob Shore. Would I still be able to see enough of it to...
Sure. No, you definitely can see it.
Excellent. With a little twinkle and gleam in my eye, I take out my crossbow and load up a bolt and... Oh, die, evil rats, die.
Rats aren't hard to hit. Just firing in the general direction hits a rat. Couple of them fall off. You like skewer 2 at the same time.
I will reload, and the gleam in my eye hasn't changed. The edges of my mouth are curled up in a little twisted smile as I take a second shot at them.
That's another hit. There's still a couple left. The rats are kind of getting beaten down, but there's still a couple left fighting Olaf.
And I will load up my crossbow and use my bonus action to fire a third bolt into the swirling mass. Oh, that hits too, it looks like.
That you managed to, with your repetitive shots, you managed to skewer all of them.
Excellent.
Oh, thank you there, Cayenne. You kept on shooting a bunch of those things off of me.
Teamwork. Makes the dream work.
Well, what were you trying to get down there, Olaf?
Olaf, after being bitten by the rats, you're feeling a little not so good.
Uh-oh.
Good boy.
Your maximum hit points decreases by 5. On top of that, you feel like you are diseased.
Oh.
Until your disease is taken off.
Olaf, do you mind if I take a look at you?
Oh, John's coming up to cure your disease. Okay. You don't have to hear the rest of the horrible disease.
Yep. As soon as I see that kind of green around the gills, I go up and I look at him, and then I put my hand on his back and I say a small prayer, and I do 5 points of lay on hand, which should remove a disease or poison.
That does indeed work to remove this specific disease. And Olaf, you are healed from the disease. You guys are very lucky to have John, because you don't have to hear the rest of this horrific disease. What happens?
Yeah. Well, I think hearing the rest of it would have probably scared us, so we don't want to. We don't want to hear it.
Do I still lose those 5?
No. That was part of the disease process.
Okay.
No, luckily you don't have to deal with that.
Oh, echo.
Perfect. So, what did you find up there?
I don't know if I got it out of the water. There was something shiny in the bottom.
Once you kill the rats, you get your mage hand. You go in there and you dig out what appears to be an amulet. Now, you don't think this amulet is worth that much, but there is some mastic and writing on the amulet.
The ring to read the writing.
You take out the ring, and the writing says this.
What?
Another thing about these old school D&D, they love crustaceans and snails and...
Yes, that's weird. Well, I mean, we fought a daggone crawfish, and his friend was a hermit crab.
Listen, back then, I think way back in the early, late 70s, early 80s, they were like coming up with, what would be good D&D monsters? Would it be goblins, gnolls, or crustaceans? And I think they were still experimenting with crustaceans. This is not the first time you're going to see crustaceans in these old school modules.
Wow.
But that's what the amulet says. Although the amulet itself, you don't think it's worth that much. Maybe 65 gold.
Well, I mean, but we'll see. Let's So what do we got to the bottom where the creature is? I think we need to.
Well, you don't know what the creature is, but you do see the bottom is the bottom well. There's a thick layer of algae on it. And you see that there's something moving underneath the algae. It's like a rhythmic movement.
Before we do anything else, I'm gonna give myself some healing to get some of my health back if I can. Yeah. Alright. Stick with that for now. And then continue on.
Now, you guys cannot take a long rest because that's like 8 hours of soft sniffing and poison. But if you would like to take a short rest, that is about 1 hour.
I want to get.
Yeah, I'm just giving you your options so you know. If you take a long rest, that's 6 hours of sniffing and poison and the consequences of that, as opposed to 1 hour.
No,
that's 8
I think
hours.
we're at the end of this poison. I think we'll maybe we can use the mage hand and move that algae out of the way.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't go up there. Kind of go where.
No, I'm gonna stay back here.
LD. Maybe we're stand where LD's at, and you could do it.
Fine, I come up to about here and cast Mage Hand and try to scoop away the algae.
So you mage hand off the algae, the thick layer of algae, and 2 bullfrogs jump out. Harmless bullfrogs.
Ah, that's just funny.
That's Gary Gygax laughing.
Yeah.
So you see, misdirection. That's what these modules are about.
All right, so let's look in.
Olaf kills the bullfrog and say, frog leg for dinner.
Let's look. I'm gonna